in what I believe in. This country and the Dallas Cowboys and Americana.
And you're not doing so good on the Dallas Cowboys right now, are you, buddy?
You should be used to taking L's by now.
They lose every game for the rest of my life. God bless the Cowboys.
God did not bless the Cowboys.
Love this country like you. You ought to move to Canada or Mexico, Brian. You're pathetic.
Sorry, who do you think put the pipe bombs down outside the...
Probably Brian.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge Show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
My first sight that I see the minute we go live, the minute, bam, the mics are live. I see the door opening, albeit very quietly, because like you can tell if somebody's a rookie here, unless it's me. I don't ever catch the door.
No,
because that's I just figured
it's your door.
It's my door, right?
Yeah.
It's like Dan. Dan is gonna park at his office, in the number one spot, like because it's he's the boss with the big penis,
right? Of course.
Yeah. So anyway, I turn to my right, and I'm just getting ready to start. Be like, hey, it's Bubba. Friday, January 26th, and here's here and blah 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 blah. I turn around, and here's this big muscular dude with jacked up delts, holding a wiener dog, so cautiously and quietly sneaking out of the studio. And I'm like, man, that's kind of our life. A jacked up bodybuilder dude holding a wiener dog. It's kind of like that's what we are. We're kind of cool because we're that jacked up guy, but we're kind of wiener dog-ish too. Not that wiener dogs aren't cool, it's just that they're not the most masculine. Like you would expect, Macho Man to be holding like a pit bull or something like that.
Yeah,
right. It would be more fitting.
Captain Creamsicle, $100 cash app.
I think that was an overnight trading, was it not?
Sure was. And Stanley the Sniper, $100
my
on the
God.
cash app.
So listen, I'm going to talk about me being gone in my next set of my next monologue or my next thing to talk about. I kind of write things down, but I got a text right before the show from Jimmy Clevis, and he's just such a good friend. I love Jimmy to death, and I wouldn't even bring it up. Jimmy listens to the show every day. Jimmy's really, really close to Dan and I. We've known Jimmy for, 25, 30 years?
Yeah.
Like Jimmy.
Literally like 30 years.
Like we kind of got this little clique, and the clique is kind of like me, the Diacos, Jimmy, Fabrizi when present, Pitty, Rob Elder, Jeff Giargante to an extent, but that's kind of like the Brat Pack, isn't it? Kind of like
yes,
Dan. That's like
absolutely.
That's kind of our little circle amongst like if Rob Elder would happen to get a hair up his ass and and I don't know. Listen, once you cash out on a Ford dealership and you got 60 million deep, Dan, I don't think I want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I wouldn't. If I was Rob Elder, I wouldn't do another damn thing for the rest of my life. Right? Unless it was fun stuff like the Auto Enclave he's already doing. Like he's already taken a lot of his money, right, Dan, and just done and bought some real cool. First of all, he got a divorce, which is the best thing he could have ever done because you're taking your losses right up front. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's like, okay, you just made a ton of money in selling your dealerships. You're going through a divorce. It's better just to go ahead and take that hit now, right? And then rather than take it 10 years from now, and because she milked you out even longer. So you get to, he's a multi-millionaire, pretty good looking dude, and you don't think he's straight slaying it, right?
Yeah, he's got a nice girlfriend that's really pretty.
Okay, well I'm slaying still.
Skinny.
Yeah, she isn't. She is nice.
Probably
at the box.
Probably a way big improvement.
It's an upgrade.
Just saying, very much. When you got 36 million, you can get an upgrade all day. So anyway, Jimmy Clevis is in that little circle of our friends, and I had actually I had somebody, a friend of mine, or a very good friend of mine, mention that he met Jimmy at BARP. And my friend, who's I'll tell you who it is, Tate, Mark Tate.
Oh, nice.
Now, you know Tate is not the easiest dude to, like, win over.
Right.
You know, Tate's tough, man. Like, he's
a little
just
salty.
He's old school, grizzled.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't take, like, you know, you may seem cool, but he'll sniff out that you're a piece of crap. Like, he's an old school tally that, you know, he starts, when he meets a new person, Tate, he automatically starts on the I don't like you, now win me over.
His brother and him are a little different.
Oh, Dave. Now, see, Dave, on the other hand, Dave's like, man,
Likes everybody.
Dave hasn't met a stranger he wouldn't take in and give a free pizza to.
Right.
I mean, Dave's the coolest
Jesus.
dude in the world.
Right.
He's like a Jesus
like
kind of
King
dude.
Kong.
Right.
He's you know, like, nothing stresses him out.
Nope.
He's King Kong. But so when we say that, that's because Dave Tate, if anything's good, it's King Kong. So it'd be like, man, did you hear about that plastic surgeon, Dan Diaco? Man, his boobs, he's King Kong, man. He's the King Kong of boobs. You know, like, let me, if anybody's good at anything, be like, man.
He's King Kong.
CJ Stroud, that guy's King Kong, is he not?
Yes, he is. King Kong.
Christian McCaffrey, King Kong, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what, you know. I could say that Shaq was King Kong, or I could say that Bill Walton was king, talking about famous sinners in the league, right?
Yeah.
Both of them are King Kong.
King Kong.
King
Love is
Kong.
King Kong the radio.
Well, I think I should probably advertise that. King
Yeah,
Kong.
you are.
King
And
Kong.
the gorilla metaphor is perfect.
King Kong of King Kong of the radio, or King Kong of content.
There you go.
King
Something
Kong
like
of
that.
content.
So anyway, Mark Tate's talking to me yesterday, and he goes, I finally, because I talk about Jimmy Clevis a lot, so I'm talking to Tate about this one thing that we're doing, and he's like, hey, guess who I met at BARP, who I was super impressed with. I'm like, whoa. I start going through my Rolodex. I can't think of anybody that's going to impress you, Mark. You already know the Diacos. Like, I mean, he knows, you already know Tom Bean. You already know Lummy. You know all my staff. You know, so I don't know. I can't think that Stanley Sniper would have that good of an impression on you, Mark Tate. You know,
Right.
and he goes, I met Jimmy Clevis, and he goes, and this is exactly what Mark Tate, who's kind of old school, very successful, tough to win over, doesn't throw out a lot of compliments. He'll just keep his mouth shut if you think something sucks rather than to say that you're good at it. He goes, man, that guy is so worldly and so way ahead of his time. You know, now Jimmy's in his 50s. Yes, he is. But Jimmy's acted like he was in his 50s when he was in his 30s, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a maturity about him. Even though he
Yes.
was like completely reckless and immature, but he still had this little element of maturity
No matter
about him that
how
kept him out of trouble.
No matter how reckless of a moment. Now we got into some reckless moments with Jimmy.
Oh,
but
we have.
Jimmy would be the guy that kind of ruddered the ship. We'd all be going crazy, and Jimmy was the dude that would still be having fun, but tempered, right?
And you know, Jimmy's mantra was also, you know, you run away from the fire in the fight. You don't go towards it.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of pussies looking good. But anyway, he goes, so Mark Tate goes, God, that guy has really got his act together. He's jacked up. Seems like he's got an unbelievable family. He's a real estate mogul. See, now, Mark Tate dabbles in real estate. I don't know if him and Jimmy got into holdings poker or not, but I guarantee you, Jim, not a lot of people are going to have more and more valuable real estate than Jimmy's portfolio,
Now, they've
right?
been doing it for 40 years.
I mean, you may have 3 or 4 or 5 houses scattered around the city, but Jimmy's got skyscrapers,
right.
bitch.
Big ones.
That's what Jimmy's shirt should be. I own skyscrapers, bitch. Isn't that such a metaphor for you might have a mansion, but I own skyscrapers, bitch. That's what
Right.
Trump's MAGA shirt should be, because doesn't he own a lot of skyscrapers?
Sure do.
Yeah.
Right. I own skyscrapers, bitch. Anyway, Jimmy Clevis, love you, my friend. Thank you for always listening early on in the morning. And you know what? Is even though I hate to call really good friends really like big time fans. But Jimmy doesn't miss a show, man. Ty J doesn't miss a show. Like they are up on the show. They listen to the show every day by some type of means, and that's pretty cool. Like Dan, when your friends are like and participate and listen to the show, that's cool because they don't like us for being on the radio. Well, they don't like us at all. But I'm just saying, being on the radio does not determine whether they like us or not. We've been their friends before you ever started doing radio with me. So isn't it just kind of cool to know? Like, do you think that I bet you Steve and Christian I bet you they don't listen, if you're to be totally honest.
Steve says he listens a lot, more than we had this conversation literally a couple days ago.
Who, me and you? Or
no, me and Steve.
Oh, you did?
Steve and myself.
Can you tell me how it went?
He's like, I do listen to that show, and so I know what you're doing.
Hold on. He's just trying to play mind games with you till you automatically tell on yourself, Dan. I hope that you, who have the highest IQ in the room, didn't fall for that.
I didn't.
Okay.
But still,
that was a trap. That was a trap.
Right. He's threatening that he listens.
So what did he say?
Nothing in particular, but
was it because did he feel as if you said something douchebaggy, and he's just warning you that he listens to the show to try to keep you in check, or do you think he genuinely does listen to the show a little bit?
I think he definitely listens to the show, and I think he likes to have his input and likes to be heard, and likes to be
likes to bust your balls.
Yeah, he likes to.
Now Jay on the other hand, like Jay never
Jay listens. Jay starts listening around 7.
I don't think how about Candle?
Candle probably doesn't.
How about Romina? What do you mean?
Sometimes not.
Only on the set time she takes the kids to school.
Yeah, only when you're talking about it.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Has your wife ever said to you that she heard something on the show that she liked? I'm sure every one of our spouses or our significant others at one time or another have listened to the show and say, I'm sure Ashley has listened plenty of times and heard you say something very funny, or it was you got a big pop, and then they later that day kind of she reminds Lemmy, I heard you today on the air, and oh my God, that was funny as hell when you told Bubba.
She wouldn't put me over like that. She'd probably say more like Dan was funny, or Bubba was funny, or Seth was funny, Rhett was funny, Anna was funny, anybody else.
She never put you over?
No, she doesn't think I'm funny at all.
For real?
Come on, dude.
Now hold on. Your wife doesn't think you're funny at all?
No.
Does she think that? Hold on. That would be like, Seth. That would be like if Patrick Mahomes' wife was telling Andy Reid, "Hey, listen, my husband really sucks."
Yeah, Kelsey's carrying this guy.
Yeah, or not. I guess I don't know that within our little pecking world. Maybe I'm Patrick Mahomes. Lummy might be. Who's Lummy? Like, think of a second string tight end that's real good.
Well,
how about that rookie from the Packers, the
Luke Musgrave?
Luke Musgrave.
Sure, yeah, that works.
Yeah, we can go up and down the field without him, but it's nice to have him. He'll be there for us when we need him. Johnny Consistent. You're our Luke. I'm probably. What am I? Am I Patrick Mahomes? Am I?
Yeah, you dish the ball.
Or am I Lamar Thomas?
Lamar Thomas. Lamar Thomas.
I'm sorry.
Is that the Dolphins running back?
No, hold on.
Wide receiver.
If we've made Lummy, if we're believing what each people represents as a football player, and we've denoted as Lummy as a rookie tight end out of Green Bay that's second string, but really does a good job. He's got a long, he's good. He's not a superstar, but he's good. So I wonder. I have to be the quarterback.
Yeah, of course.
So we have to think of within the league, and Seth, you might be able to help me here. Within the league, which, very successful quarterback, stud of a GOAT deal that's still playing, would you say I was?
Oh, man.
And this is an open question to everybody. Rhett, you're just as big a sports guy as Seth and know just as much, so please don't. Please participate. I don't think Macho Man knows anything about football.
No.
Can I give you a guy that's not playing anymore?
No. Has to be.
It's
the show. Hold on. Is the show not playing anymore, or is it we're still alive.
Okay, well,
we're still on a team, and we're still, on the roster. We're still playing ball, kid.
You got 32 to choose from.
I was gonna say Michael Vick just because he went to jail and he's been through some stuff and he came back out on the other end even better than before.
No, I'm not allowing that. Just stop trying to overthink it, you little dick.
Trying to think of people who have been in legal trouble.
What? You know what? You just keep thinking. Lummy, who do you make? Who am I to you?
I mean, right
you
now,
keep thinking, Seth, and when I come back to you, bitch, you better have an answer.
All right, Lamar Thomas.
You got that's not the answer.
All right, I'll get you one.
Think. All right. Lummy.
Jack Lambert.
That's who I am, Jack Lambert.
Oh yeah.
No, Red.
No, I'm not.
Your buddy just got in trouble for not giving a current player. Buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just Jesus. So
I know.
I'll be coming up to you here in a minute. I haven't called your name. Yes, Anna. What?
Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Do we like that guy?
he won a Super Bowl.
We'll see. We'll see. We got other.
At least he's a current player.
That is true.
You're the only one so far that's
Yeah,
played.
you're welcome. I understood the assignment.
You're the only one that didn't try to make it their own. You just answered the question. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. I like sports.
Dude, no problem. I like sports. Man, that's a pop. But I don't think I have a pop. I don't have a pop anymore, do I?
No, I mean there's like that little ding ding ding.
I think all I have is.
I'll take that. That's fine.
God.
I think I got one.
Can you do a papal? Why don't you do one of the papals like
a
who's
Bubba
got
Light?
a real papal?
Springs with a
I can do the hottest bar in Tarpon Springs.
That's fine. I'll take that as a win.
We'll just do that. We can do that. There you
All
go.
right.
And damn near belt worthiness. It was just so funny.
That.
Bitch, don't talk me out of my belt worthiness, Monset.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, no problem. It was very much over. That should almost be a plus, Tukey.
Oh, yeah.
No, let's not get into that. Let's just, Dan, are you familiar with the new Tukey rules?
Yes. Did you just settle on 4?
What's that? Yeah, we settled on 4.
Okay,
yes.
I know you went back and forth a few times.
So it's
4 balls.
So your third one, like your next one, you're out. You're out on 4.
Right. So 4 balls, you walk.
Yeah. 4 zookeeper references
Is that
where
a
you're
day?
just where you're yes, a day.
Okay.
A day.
A show?
Per show.
Per show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're really trying to really dial it in, aren't you?
If I know the rules,
You want
I
to
can
par?
play.
You want to make sure. So Dan's like, that's about, let me see, 1 every 50 minutes. So yeah, I can do that.
I can deal with that.
I could even just be quiet for an hour.
If I have to.
No, not really.
So Joe Burrows.
Okay, your answer. So far we have.
I have someone for myself.
Matt Stafford. Of course you do. Dan. Well, we'll get to that here momentarily. Who you think you are in the NFL with regards to the pecking order here or the importance of the program?
It's got to be Lamar Jackson. Do it all, right?
I don't know. Shut up. You. I haven't called on you yet.
Oh, whatever.
So I got Matthew Stafford from Anna, and I got who did I get from you, Dan?
Joe Burrows.
Joe Burrows. And then who's your selection?
I was thinking back. I'm trying to think of someone that's now still in the league with a Super Bowl, and I think obviously you're not Russell Wilson on the down, turn of his career. So I'm gonna have to go Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Been to the dance and is good enough to get to the dance again, but needs a few breaks.
Yep. Keep
Right?
dancing. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm dancing with you on that. Rhett, over to you. Not Jack Lambert.
Yeah, a more updated answer.
Yes, please.
Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback for the San Francisco 49ers. He is the last of a dying breed, but he's a stud.
That makes a lot of sense with the last of a dying breed deal, but it has a kind of a negative feel about it. I mean,
He's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
But I mean, okay.
Yeah,
People don't look at him as a jobber, I promise.
Okay.
But he's not getting that big $100 million contract.
Yeah. Never.
Because he's a fullback.
Yeah, I know exactly. So I'm not. I am in the position to get a decent sized contract if I was to pull. We would catch a break, which I'm working on a few breaks. So Lummy, and then Seth, over to you for the final.
All right, well, I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to have to go with Russell Wilson. Won a championship a long time ago, and now it's just barely hanging on.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Went from Lamar Jackson to
Wow.
Russell Wilson.
Wow.
Damn, dude.
Has won a championship and is barely hanging on.
Yeah.
About to get let go in March.
Nobody.
I'm going to get cut. One day we're going to sign on our Facebook, our YouTube, everywhere that that we make money. All 6 of our terrestrial stations, we're going to go to sign up, and they're all going to have us blocked. And then we're like, nope, don't want the feed, buddy. Can't. And we think about how screwed we'd be.
Mm-hmm.
It would be done.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So you
Sucks
think,
being Russell Wilson.
I know. I want to go with the Patrick Mahomes. I've been to the dance, but I'm not killing it like he is. So I guess I think I got to be Russell Wilson.
Talked you into being barely hanging under the league.
Well,
getting coaches fired.
All right. Do you feel good about that? Do you feel good that you talked me into that? It seems as if you do. You really
You know
put
what?
yourself over.
I felt electric.
You really like. I'm kind of questioning whether you're really pulling for us or not, buddy.
Listen. No, there was never a bigger redemption story than Michael Vick, and you shot that down. You accepted Kyle Juszczyk, a fullback whose wife is making Taylor Swift's Travis Kelce puffy jackets, and you shot down Michael Vick.
So his girlfriend makes merchandise. Is that what you're saying?
Oh man, he dropped the mic on you, bitch.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
The good merch curtain.
Currently has
What does my significant other do?
Oh well,
merchandise.
There you go.
You gotta admit that's a pretty good one.
I guess.
Come on.
She's a designer, but I guess.
Listen to me. Sometimes you do get faced. Sometimes we get you, Seth.
Me?
Yeah. So
Bubba, I didn't get it.
So take one.
I didn't get it.
Okay. The Saints guy, the fullback for the Saints.
49ers.
The fullback for the 49ers, his girlfriend does his merchandise. And that's who Rhett said that I reminded him most
His
of the league.
girlfriend's a designer. His wife is a designer.
Okay, it doesn't have
Just
to
go
be
along with
just
it.
whatever, Seth. You're really losing the vibe right now.
Okay.
You might want to put yourself a timeout.
Freaky Friend Friday.
Stop trying to cash.
Already pissing at Jesus.
And you don't really want to have your name associated with Michael Vick anymore.
Hello, yeah, Jesus, Seth. You can't make me Michael Vick. And people think of
Drowning
prison.
dogs.
They think of drowning dogs, electrocuting
Violently
dogs.
drowning
They don't
dogs.
I
know
think
that-
of 6 touchdowns on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, well, and you don't think. Hold on, it is a Freaky Phone Friday. Speaking of Seth, you don't think of the 18 months of federal prison time that most of the country thinks of. For
The
killing.
fact that I know who he is means that he did something bad.
Hello, who's this? What do you need, buddy?
Hey, Bubba, it's Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Uh-oh.
So I'd like to ask you, relax. I'd like to ask you 2 questions.
Hold on.
Oh.
Charlie, you relax, and don't tell my people to relax like that. Okay?
I apologize.
All right, thank you. Continue, please.
I'm watching you on YouTube right now. I've got 2 very quick questions. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm not trying to.
Which means you are trying to be
provoke
sarcastic
anything.
usually. Usually
Or just straight mean, but
right. Now, is this one of these guys that listens to other shows and tries to call in and try to prank us and all that kind of deal? So, Charlie,
No, I'm not pranking you. I'm not pranking you. I don't have any affiliation with any show.
Charlie, can I ask? Can before I allow you to ask me questions, which I don't have a problem with, may I ask you a couple questions?
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you call the show because you really do like the show? You think it's one of your favorite shows. There's so much content for a guy that's tech savvy like you to be able to get, and you actually find yourself liking our show. That's A. Or B, you just like calling our show up so that you can use our show in like a Zoinksville, I got them. These guys are a bunch of, and trying to put over you getting us or asking us tough questions or getting us in a oh wow moment or a gotcha type deal or a bonsai type deal that you then repurpose and and make content out of this phone call.
So can I answer?
Yeah.
So absolutely not. I fell for Howard Stern's shtick about 15 or 20 years back. I didn't know who Anthony, Cumia, and Opie were at the time. I lived in Los Angeles, California. So most people in Los Angeles had no clue who they were. All of us fell victim to who Howard Stern was. He was the god of shock radio. We're like, who is this guy? How is he saying this stuff? How is he getting away with this stuff? This guy is an innovative genius. Your name popped up into the Howard Stern world. I never subscribed to, I think you were on Sirius. I never heard you. I heard you on his show a couple times. You were being interviewed by him. Nothing stuck with me. I didn't sign up for your program. But Howard Stern, in my opinion, looking back, was a complete and absolute hack. He was very shocking. But I discovered Anthony Cumia and Opie about 3 years back on YouTube. Brilliant geniuses. Anthony Cumia is a brilliant genius.
Listen, hold on. Go ahead. I would agree. I don't agree with the analogy of Howard being a complete hack, but I also have a lot of respect for the show that O&A used to put out. I mean, I think you can can be a true radio enthusiast and know that, you know, both have way different styles, but both are equally as brilliant, and both were very successful.
Well, they were successful because Howard Stern was promoted. It's like Coca-Cola. I'm not sure how many billions or hundreds of millions of dollars they put out each year where they say we're the best. That's what we got from Howard Stern in Los Angeles. The best. You've got to be listening to this. The best,
all right,
the best.
All right. So, no, Charlie, Charlie, that's stuff that we can't undo. Or why are we bitching about it? Why are we bitching about Howard Stern and how he was?
Because that's how I discovered you. That's how I discovered you.
Okay. All right. So continue on.
So here's my next question. So right now, and I apologize. That's all irrelevant. So here's my next question. I just tuned into your show on YouTube. The algorithm you just popped up, a bunch of live shows popped up. You're currently discussing Vince McMahon. So I may be wrong. I'm not trying to set you up. I'm not trying to, to say, hey, this guy's a dick. Let's hang up on him. You had your whole beef with Hulk Hogan. I called in a few months back or a couple weeks back. You said what happened with you and him and his wife, it ruined your life. Then you brought up Nick Hogan a few weeks back. Obviously, you did that to create ratings. In my gut, you were probably saying, you know what? I'm going to fuck this guy.
Easy. Charlie. Listen, I'm not going to hang up on you. You can go and spiel all you want, but you can't say the F words. We're on regular radio as well.
I apologize.
Okay, so
I thought it was fun.
No. We have 6 terrestrial, affiliates that we have to abide by the FCC. Cool. So no big deal. You didn't know. I dumped it. We're good. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's my question. I'm not trying to provoke you. I'm watching you. I got to be honest with you. I have not spent more than 1 hour in your whole career listening to you. But maybe after this conversation, I'm going to start going back to YouTube. I'm going to say, you know what? There's something innovative. There's something unique. There's something original about this guy. But anyway, my question is, now you're currently discussing Vince McMahon. That's what showed up in my algorithm. Does that have anything to do with the pain and the suffering that you experienced with your Hulk Hogan trial? And you're basically saying, I'm going to get these guys back.
No, not at all, because Vince had nothing to do with any of my demise or any of that particular situation. Vince or the WWE had nothing to do with, what I put Terry through, or what the infamous Hogan sex tape did to him, or what it did to my ex-wife, or what it did to me. Had no bearing. Had nothing to do with WWE. So when Vince McMahon, which is one of the lead stories, if you literally type in today's lead stories on Google, this is a top five. This is a top 5 story right now. This has nothing to do with Hulk Hogan. So when I do cover the Vince McMahon deal, I'm going to cover it in such a way. In fact, me and my staff spoke about how we were going to cover it today. We're already Rhett's already gone and found the girl's Instagram or pictures of her, and so we're going to make this one of the major staple things that we speak about today. And so that's why we make it, put it up as clickbait, because in some time during today's show, we're going to get to that topic. And that topic doesn't have anything to do with my sex tape. And that topic doesn't have anything to do with Hulk Hogan. And it doesn't have anything to do with, Hulk Hogan sex tape. So this is a complete, and here's the thing, sir. As we deep dive into the story, it is sick. They made, the story says that Vince McMahon made a fellow associate have a threesome with this girl, and they pooped. And listen to this, sir. They pooped in her hair and wouldn't let her wash it for 2 hours. And then she had to send naked pictures to Brock Lesnar just so that Vince could get him back. in the WWE, and then Brock Lesnar asked her for not only do I want, naked pictures, but I want pictures of you urinating. Like, this is quite sensational. Like, this has nothing to do with my axe to grind with anybody. So that's my answer to you, bud. That's my honest answer to you. And, I don't know how you feel about my answer. Well, how do you feel about my answer?
Well, you just educated me on something. So I'm going to hang up. I'm going to research it. And if what you're saying is true, and if it's absolutely true, a lot of times people make up things.
Yeah, and they do, and they do, and we've looked at the New York Post, which is a one. It's on. I know it's in the Post. It's in almost every very reputable. Like you can see an online story, and if it's like the Onion or just some kind of bull crap, you can take you can obviously take that in consideration as to the validity of said story. But when you start getting some very reputable news sources covering this story based on documents that's been seen or things like that, then you start maybe thinking that there's some validity to the story.
So, Bubba, let me ask you this question. Obviously, sometimes in life, when something happens to us, it comes down to my word against your word. If that woman took like 2 or 3 polygraph tests from the most well-recognized polygraph experts, would in your opinion, would that give her more credibility?
I don't know if has that been a thing? Like, are they asking her to do that or not? I mean,
No. But you have a woman on your female member on your.
I think some of the evidence, Charlie. I think some of the evidence that the media has already been privy to are text messages back and forth.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
So
okay, cool.
I mean, I've read and I've done a little research on this story, so that's why I know that. So, I think that's not necessarily the most concrete evidence in the world, but it's certainly enough evidence to maybe validate there's something going on here.
So I'm going to end this conversation. Sometimes I've called in. I've been very, volatile. I've been very, maybe obnoxious. So I'm going to digest this conversation. I'm going to do some research on you. I'm going to research what you guys are talking about, and we'll leave it at that. Maybe someday I'll call back and say, hey, you know what, Bubba, good stuff. Take care. That's it. Okay.
All right, Charlie. Good talking to you.
Take care.
I'm sure your mom's basement gets cold at night as you're touching yourself to Pornhub.
Weirdo.
As you're listening to Dick Biondi and Neil Rogers tapes from WIOD in Miami. Boy, you really got to be a radio guy to know those two things. Seth, were you familiar with either name?
No, I'm just.
You're not familiar with the infamous Dick Biondi in Chicago and Neil Rogers in Miami?
Yeah.
True radio historians.
No, I don't want to be a radio historian. I'm terribly disturbed by that last phone call. You gave that guy a lot of time for him not listening to your show.
I think what I did, Seth, this is only a true radio Jedi would be able to do something like this, is that I took a guy that thought he was going to absolutely own me
and disarm him.
And shove it up my ass, and he's armed with all these questions and all these gotcha moments, and I calmly navigated through the path and actually pretty much dropped the mic on him.
You took the gun out of his hand.
So I think, as painful as it may be, I was doing it just to show you my skill set.
Well, you're Patrick Mahomes now. I changed my mind.
Whoa, hold the phone. Is that horizon broad enough for you?
Oh, my apologies.
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Bubba, who's the other guy besides Neil Rogers you said?
Dick Biondi. Dick Biondi. B-O-N. I don't know.
B-I-O-N-D-I.
Dick
Be on my shoulder.
Dick Biondi.
He looks
Chicago.
Top 40 oldies disc jockey. Oh, he just died.
Oh, great.
There's our girl.
But did you have a pot down?
Right in?
Yeah, Brian was like, that's the ugliest beach report
Yeah,
I've ever
okay,
seen.
we're good now.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
She's not
You
yet.
sit in here
No, me neither.
At all. Not
No,
even close.
she's not.
Do I need to? Okay, both pots are up.
No.
Do I need to hit it on or off?
No, you're good.
Okay.
we just want to make sure it's turned up for when we come back. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Man,
it's okay.
Fuck. Sorry, buddy.
You're good. Yeah.
Rudy from Florida. Good morning. Kate Powers. Christopher Stevens. It's funny. Rudy.
I found I was looking for something that's a
Each
correct
mellow
answer
morning.
thing. This is kind of
Let's
cool.
see.
If you want to take cue just so you can see what it sounds like. It's kind of like a.
Otherwise, you're playing Q though.
No, that's good. You're fine.
Your next team. Hey, go ahead.
Yannick Jean. Trickney. Good morning.
It's kind of like a little. No.
I like that one. I like that one that you had.
Oh, Dane?
Yeah, you had it somewhere. I'd like to eventually put it right,
Okay.
but I don't know how. That's where I'd like to put it on
Right Dane. Okay.
right ding.
I want like a thicker one.
That currently is the Timble. So I need to move 20 to 18. See, 18, somehow I hit some buttons one day, 18's dead. See, look, 18's dead. Used to be Timble. Instead, 20 is the
It
Timble.
might still be there. I'll look at it.
So if we can somehow get the Timble back there and then your, whatever, yeah, I think you had it over here somewhere.
Yeah, no, I'll copy it over. I'll find it, put it back there. It's easier.
And you have to participate in our,
What's up, Yinzer?
who you are in the
Yes,
NFL.
me.
You have to participate. You can't say it. I have no answer further. So we're gonna have, and then we're gonna have to.
I don't know who Patrick Mahomes is, so I'll go with that.
Well, no, you can't just call yourself Patrick Mahomes. Okay, motherfucker? Just, you just can't. Like, you just can't, buddy.
I know him and the other guys in the commercials, but I don't know his name. All the time is Subway commercial. No, the Direct TV commercial.
Look, it's short stroker.
You're watching it wrong. He's really tall.
Is he a current player?
I don't know.
I don't
He's
know.
wearing a suit and he's like, if you're not watching the picture,
I don't know how that's gonna happen.
he's got real deep voice. Might be that same guy. That
I don't know.
It's a tough call. It's one of those ambiguous areas.
I'll find the clip.
Okay.
What's going on? JL. Al good.
Next week I need all after shows, all at least Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That I'm doing 12:30 dirt racer shows. So I'm gonna start them at 1 o'clock at 1. So I need my studio by 1 o'clock all next week.
You're coming back down here?
Not just Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We have to, let's quickly do our podcast. Get it done. No, that's right, I'm not here next week.
Yeah.
The week after.
I'm so
Yeah.
confused.
The week after. Scratch that.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
The week after, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be here. And I'm gonna be doing like a one-off
We're
show.
usually out by like.
Yeah, I mean, no, I give myself plenty of time because
Yeah.
usually everything's done usually by 12:15.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
absolutely.
So
Okay.
it's next week when you're hosting?
33, just get on to locals.
We're getting into that.
You misspoke.
Straight to watch other one.
Don't worry. Got it.
Is there still a show on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday the next 2 weeks? Or is there a no-show day?
Full show next week. I host. Forget what you just said. And then the following week, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have Thursday, Friday off.
For what? I was trying to.
It's not until fall, so. Think Purim's coming up? I don't fucking know.
Oh, Ramadan.
Ramadan, I think, is in March.
Yeah, I think it's going up, so it's Ramadan. got a holiday.
Ramadan 2024.
I just
Can't wait.
got a holiday, but if that's someone.
Yeah. Yeah, March 10th to April 9th.
All right. What's a month? I forgot.
Yeah, it's a whole month.
Can't eat.
During the day. Can't funk during the day.
I've got an idea. Time to man up.
I gotta poop so bad.
Man up and be brutally honest.
And you're calling me crazy?
Or I'm gonna kill you. We now return to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
February is National Heart Health Month in the United States, and more than half of us could benefit from some sort of blood pressure support. Super Beats Heart Chews are the #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended way to support healthy blood pressure. And they even promote heart-healthy energy without the stimulants or the crash. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Super Beets are clinically to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. Support healthy blood pressure comes with a bonus. Super Beet Heart Chews healthy circulation can not only get blood pressure support, but also a productive heart-healthy energy without the crash. Support your heart health with Super Beets today. Get a free month supply of Super Beet Heart Chews on all bundles and a free full-size bag of what, Lummy?
Turmeric.
It's very important. Those are valued at $25. And don't forget, this all starts and stops by getting signed up on BubbaLovesBeats.com. Again, this exclusive offer is only at BubbaLovesBeats.com. There's no promo code or nothing like that. This takes you directly into my world, which will get you your discounts. And we love these heart-healthy chews. They're great. So thank you so much for signing. Lummy, I think we got another renewal onto them.
Yes, we did.
So BubbaLovesBeats.com. Thank you, guys. So I'm ready to start the show and everything.
Can I go back to Super Beets real fast?
Yes, by the way, Super Beets.
Yes, I'm a user.
Hold on. By the way, Super Beets. I know because we're going to send this to them. I want them to hear it. This is a doctor speaking. This is not just some stupid co-host. This is a doctor, Dr. Dan Diaco, and he'd like to give his opinion on Super Beets. Take it away, Dan.
I've been a user of Super Beets now for months because you've been promoting it, and I like the taste of it, and I like the way it makes me feel. And I was at the doctor yesterday. My blood pressure was 118/75, despite 4 monsters in my body.
Can I tell you something? And I'm.
Oh, jeez, man.
Can I tell you something that
pissed off at the world?
That will freak you out? That will freak you out.
Yes.
In fact, the nurse had to went and got a different cuff and a different machine. So I go in Wednesday because I go to the doctor. I go to my primary doctor every 3 months, and I get labs done every 3 months. You know that. I also every 3 months do the double red blood cell donation.
Right.
So I kind of got I'm dialed in on my hemoglobins, my iron. Because I got kind of like a perfect combination, and it takes my body after 3 or 4 months, then my blood starts getting a little sludgier because I have, what's it called, hemochromatosis?
Yep, you said it perfectly.
And it's where your body produces more red blood cells than it needs, which causes your blood to be thicker and maybe potentially coagulate or start like a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And so... for instance, I forget. There's an iron. There's a hemoglobin. I think it's a
hemoglobin. Hematocrit are the 2 numbers.
Right,
and hematocrit's 3 times the hemoglobin.
Well, anyway, I know the number, the magic number in this world is 12 to 16. That's what a good healthy person would have.
And that's a hematocrit of 38 to 50.
Right.
Essentially 48.
Well, I know that what was that first number called? It's supposed to be between 12 and 15?
Hemoglobin.
Yeah, so my hemoglobin number, I can remember like it was nothing. I just told the story, Lummy, a few weeks ago. I was sitting with the boys at Wing House or Hooters, and it's the first time I did labs, Dan, and I did them with Dr. Mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
In case I was low on test or
Right.
case, whatever.
Just get baselines.
Right. He calls me and says, you are lucky that you have not, one, fell over and died at any day, but you are at risk of literally having a heart attack or a widow or something at any time based on your is it hemoglobin?
Yes.
Your hemoglobin levels.
What year is this?
This was 2006. Your hemoglobin levels are 29.4. He said,
That's a hematocrit of like 75, 80. I've never even heard of something that high.
Right. So he's like, I just sat down with my partners and like, Bubba, friend, like if you do not do something tomorrow, you're gonna die.
Scary.
And I mean, like, what? I feel great.
Never seen a number that high.
I feel great. Like you don't know that your body, like for instance, if somebody would checks all their levels down every 3 months, and there's some cancer markers in there and things like that.
Yeah, it's an invisible disease. You don't see it. There's no symptoms until it's too late.
Right. But if you stay up on your body, I gotta think that the way to live a longer life is to continually monitor the data your body's telling you and make small, fine adjustments.
Probably a good idea.
She every 3 months looks at my levels, and she's like, like last time she looked at my levels, she's like, you need some more DHEA.
Mm-hmm.
She said you need to start taking this. She gave me a milligram. You're a little low on that. And so a lot of the adjustments that she makes aren't even prescription. Like they're just over-the-counter vitamins. She's like, I have to triple my folic acid. And she goes, I want you tripling your dosage of folic acid, and you need more B12. So I'm working on my latest report that just came back showed those things. I got to think that if you get your levels taken every 3 months, or let's just say you even did it twice a year, and the doctor can make these small in-game changes, I think that is the key to life and the key to longevity, because one, you're constantly trying to hit the levels of normality by quick adjustments. But two, if there is something catastrophically wrong, it probably shows it's ugly.
You're going to catch it.
It rears its head early, doesn't it, Dan? Like, if I was having some kind of let's say I was going to have kidney cancer or liver failure or something.
There'd be some biomarkers that would show up.
There'd be some markers in these tests that they do that doctors would say, okay, this is not good. Am I right, Dan?
Most of the time, yes. Not every test. I mean, not every cancer can be found with a marker, but doing this does three things, like you said. First of all, it optimizes you. Second, it provides an opportunity for you to stop a potentially lethal process by taking a polyp before it turns into cancer after a colonoscopy.
Right.
And then the third thing is, aging is probably due to free radicals and oxidative stress. And if you're optimizing your body, your body is going to have less stress because it's working like a fine-tuned machine.
And let's not forget this too. Wait till you hear, Dan. I'm just going to tell you, my blood pressure was 106.
Wow.
Over 68.
Jesus.
Damn.
And she's like, and they put me on the scales. I was 180, 281. I know I creeped back up over the holidays, but I'm back on it. It was 281. Just in full disclosure, I've gained about 6 or 7 pounds.
Thank you for being honest.
I'm like, I could have lied and said I was 272, right?
Right.
But I'm not.
No, we appreciate it.
And it's tough for me to have to say that I've gained 6, 7 pounds. That makes that doesn't make I feel like a little Sethy. I'm kind of a little down on myself right now. I'm a slouch on the couch right now. So, but I can get back on it.
Of course you can.
That's not a big deal. That my life, I'm going to be living out of a trailer for the next 8 days in Ocala, Florida.
Now, will you lose or gain weight with that?
Probably break even because I'm working so hard out. Here's the deal. I can even cheat a little bit, like send Erica to McDonald's or something like that. But Dan, since I'm I'm literally working, working heavy equipment, walking around, moving rocks, just, digging holes, painting walls, just doing stuff outside. That usually, even if I cheat, is such a shock to my body that it makes me lose weight, or I'll at least break even. If I can go and spend 8 days This is virtually vacation, but more importantly, it's living in a trailer in Ocala for the next 8 days. And I break even on the way home. Like if I come back, Dan, next Sunday morning at 281, that's a win.
Victory.
That's a win, right? Like it's tough to go outside your daily element, and when you're trying to, be health conscious or lose weight. I mean, if you're trying to gain weight, if you don't care about your weight and you don't care gain, then you just live life accordingly. But for some of us who have very slow metabolisms, if I just go hog wild, I will be a fat ass. I will always, for the rest of my life, I will always be on a diet.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah, of course.
I go on vacations and I often lose weight because I'm not eating at night.
Well, Dr. Dan, great for you, Dr. Dan.
Of course,
it's
Dan.
just
You got a big wiener, you drive a
Humble
Ferrari,
brag.
you lose weight.
Hold on, everybody.
I'm not trying to be douchey. I'm just saying that just because I can't get to the late night snacking.
Quiet. Lummy, please shout out what you said. Dr. Dan, hashtag.
Got a big wiener, you drive a Ferrari, you lose weight on vacation. Good for you. You're rich, you're successful, you're handsome, you're good looking.
You have great blood pressure.
Tell us more,
Not
Dan.
better
Despite
than
having
me.
4 monsters in your blood.
Doctor, a lawyer.
So Dan,
healthy heart shoes.
So Dan, for a guy that weighs 281 pounds, is nearly 58 years old, for him to have a blood pressure of a marathon runner,
it's amazing.
Like she said.
Go ahead, put yourself over.
No, I'm for real. She's like, that's like track and field stuff.
Yes, Olympic. You're Olympic. You're an Olympic athlete.
Well, but I'm not.
But you
Could be a shot put. Yeah.
No, my shoulder's blown out.
No.
Other shot.
Oh, look, we can't continue the great conversation because Seth enacted a new rule 3 weeks ago called Freaky Phone Fridays. Let me. I think I did start Freaky Phone Fridays on a trial basis at any time I can. Well, just like anything, at any time I can say this is stupid. I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, yeah,
How about
sure.
right now?
Right. Hello. It's a Freaky Phone Friday. It's the only day that us, as a male skewing talk show, that most of these shows like us absolutely positively need their listeners calling in with their stupid stuff to have any type of content at all. Tukey. So we don't need that because we have so much talent in this room that we can just create content and funny content just through news stories in our own lives. But anyway, what yes, sir. Go ahead. Freaky Phone Friday.
Tukey. Good morning, gentlemen. Inanna, I have a question for Dr. Dan real quick.
All right.
So I got a couple of statements from Anthem Blue Cross stating that I owe some money from an explanation of benefits up in Gainesville, which we have a daughter who's 13, and my wife called, and apparently there's a boy with the same birth date. They were billing our insurance, they were billing their Medicare to our insurance, and now they're putting us on the hold for it because they.
You really brought my niacin buzz right down to zero, kid.
Sorry.
My God, big insurance high spot out of Gainesville.
Well, it's insurance fraud, and so I would highlight that to the insurance company, let them know that it's fraud, and that if they don't, I would also contact the state of Florida because the insurance companies are regulated by the state,
and they're a bunch of crooks.
And I would file a complaint on the state of Florida website against the insurance company and against the hospital. You can do that and watch how quickly it gets fixed, because as soon as you run that flag up the totem pole or up the flagpole, they respond very, very, very quickly.
Fantastic. That was it. I appreciate it very much.
Mm-hmm. All right, buddy. Thank you for the if I need legal help helpline.
And you can always call us at 888-SOS-FIRM for any of your legal problems.
Dan, I saw that little short that you posted.
Oh, you did?
Driving, from the
going from doctor to Mr. Rogers.
Can I critique it?
Sure. I didn't produce it. I just
first of all, can somebody get it to me so I can critique it? And if you remember last time, you guys did a commercial, we played it, and I critiqued it, and you guys were like, oh, my God, you're right.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes.
I picked out like 3 little things that could have been easily changed or fixed in post-production or cut out or just reshot, and you're like, wow, you're right. And like we're just totally being intellectually honest. Did you send it, Lummy?
I'm getting it right now.
You're getting it?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. You know what? How about we be responsible for once, Lummy? Actually really, really be early instead of be late and then come back with the Dan's new Dan. They hired this new media person to kind of help the Diaco brands as far as the plastic surgery center and the law office.
It's mostly law office.
Okay, mostly law office. Better kind of start organically and just organically, digitally start social media advertising.
Yeah,
and
instead of paying for a bunch of bots.
Right, exactly. So in doing that, they have a person that is coordinating the shoots and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done this before, and they now is what I saw, the short, is that just going to be a short, or does that lead into something different?
No, it's just a short.
Okay, perfect.
It's just a short. It's just, again, to continue to create small content that is engaging.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to have that next. There's just a couple quick observations I have, and you can tell me. By the way, I loved it. I loved it. Something's better than nothing. Like you guys are on the right track. That's exactly what you need to do. Can continue to create the brand, short little gimmicks like that. But I just want you to keep. I just want to tell you a couple little tweaks that I would have made, and and listen. You know what you can say, Bubba? Go F yourself, because
try saying that. See what happens.
I want you literally to say, Bubba, you know what? No, I don't agree with you on that. And realize that can be an answer. That can be an option, my friend. Please know that, okay? But also intellectually, like if you're like, oh, you know what, you're probably like, okay, I get it. So I mean, there's certainly, I don't want you to agree with me because you just think you got to agree with me, because you're not, please.
You know me.
All right.
Okay.
You know me. You know how fair I am.
Right. You're very fair.
Let me get that ready. We'll do it next.
Mission accomplished. Another segment filled. More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Little cauliflower patch.
Oh no. It's hot as fuck in here.
Is that okay?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you kind of implied that that's what you wanted me to do, sort of.
No.
So, okay, don't. Okay.
No,
That's cool.
because I think that just the one little thing that I'm going to bring up, I think that you're going to say like.
Which is why I was saying that would be fine. I thought it would be funny, but it's not jokingly.
But it's not how you feel though.
I understand that, but I'm saying that like that. I'm just kidding.
No.
It's not worth that. Okay. Just double check.
All right.
Balls are sweaty.
Dan makes that announcement when his balls are sweaty.
Of course. It's warm. Feels good. How many people's balls sweat in February?
You see that today.
Very inappropriate. I feel like I'm in a Vince McMahon moment right now.
Oh yeah. Gotta sue him, Bubba. Ouch, $20. I'm gonna leave. Seems like he is gonna lose. Did you ever see that? Leave.
I didn't say like my big shaved
engorged balls now.
That move every time a heart beats.
Yeah.
So she has.
I didn't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I just got a text.
The one at my house is either an XL or a 2X. I'll look when I get home today.
Where do you belong?
I'll give that to
2?
3.
You're a 3?
For like 2. I can wear a 2X tall.
Just because it's too short if it's a normal 2X?
Because now they make shorts that are made just
They'll have to tuck in?
short.
Yeah, the shirts untuck it.
Yeah.
Um,
So I wore 3X for the like, which they shrink.
if that doesn't work, just let me know,
Alright.
and I'll figure out a time between today and tomorrow to meet you somewhere.
Why
I'll
is
get
your
going.
Bubba Army gold shirt in such perfect condition? Looks like it's aging well.
Oh, those are.
It's just new.
Oh, it's a newer one? Okay.
Yeah, it's new. Newish.
Newish.
Mine
Yeah.
looks that way too.
I just don't wear it
I
a
think
lot.
it aged.
First time I didn't turn it inside. I didn't know how to turn it inside.
Is that the problem?
Yeah, I found out after I washed it. Unfortunately. Sorry.
So Raheem's going to be the Falcons next coach?
Would you mind turning down the AC?
God bless
Turn
him.
down the temp like
Good for him.
inferior too. Which fits in.
I hope he does well. Except when he plays the Bucks.
Funny because then they took away the Rick. No, he doesn't answer to Rich McKay.
Huh?
Isn't they took away?
They took Rich McKay out?
No, he's still there, but usually the coach that they answer to Rich McKay, and they said that they made a change that he has to answer to the GM and the owner, not Rich McKay.
What's Richard McKay now? What's his position?
President.
Oh, he's president.
Yeah. Which is weird.
He's been there for 20 years. You know, a long fucking time. 18 years. He's got to be making a fuck ton of money.
He's on like the board on the NFL too, on the Bulls or some shit.
And the role position?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been in the NFL since he was a little kid. You know, he was practices when he was a kid.
He played for. Didn't he play for a year?
A minute.
Or was his brother?
I think he did. Receiver.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was
like
him or
a
his
minute.
brother. If I was alive in '76, I probably would have made the team
Yeah, they were slow back then.
for 1 minute. For what I played good.
But Richard McKay's a nice guy. He's always been really nice to me and my family, so I got nothing negative to say about him.
There's a guy that what he played 70, and he was just like, we were taking anything off the fucking street. He's like, they asked if you could play football, you could play.
Didn't Steve Spurrier play on that team for a second?
He got him in a trade. They traded for him from San Francisco.
Smart.
Guess what? Time for insults aplenty. And they're all from the heart. Collateral damage of the truth. Bubba the Love Sponge.
I know firsthand because I'm using them. Giant Recreation World. Go to giantrecreationworld.com. Tell them Bubba Army if you go to one of their convenient locations. Palm Bay, Ormond Beach, or Winter Garden. Whether it's an EV golf cart, whether it's a trade-in, whether it's a hauler, whether it's a Class A, B, or C, or a fifth wheel, or whether you're just renting it for the weekend, they'll go and actually take whatever you want, put it in place, stock it with towels and linens and pillows and soap and all that kind of stuff. You drive to your RV, whether it's like the Daytona 500 or wherever, do what you got to do, and then they'll come and pick it back up for you when you're done.
That's so perfect.
That's pimp.
Because that's the problem with the RVs is getting it there and dealing with all the other, the riprap of it. There's so many systems.
Getting it hooked up.
Yeah, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah, just walk in, pull your Ferrari right next up to your bus that they already got hooked up for you. Kind of like Dan when you go to the track. you're not helping unload the car. You're not helping, put on new tires, and you're not helping to do any adjustments. You're just in their $3,000, Ricky Bobby Ferrari suit and with your, $7,000 helmet, ready to get buckled in like that. All that other nonsense. You don't know.
No.
You don't know. The oil or anything. You don't know nothing.
I don't even know what the oil cap is.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do know if there's something wrong with the suspension. I mean, I do give them feedback. But when it comes to the maintenance of it, zero.
You may say
zero.
you might tell Terry radio in, hey, I think my right front shock feels wonky. I feel like it's lazy or tired getting in. Like whatever. How you give them feedback to their car. Now they have to make the necessary adjustments, whether it's to air pressure, camber, whether it's to spring adjustment,
or something's loose.
They got various things they got to do. You don't do any of that.
No.
Hell no.
No. Grease in my skin don't get along.
Your hands don't get
greasy.
Like, let me ask you a question. As much as I've been manning up Seth, and you are a guy's guy, like when it comes to a lot of stuff, like, shooting guns and riding jet skis and, like stuff like that. But, like, I don't know that you have ever changed. I don't know if you know how to change your own oil or anything like that.
I mean, I could change my own oil. I just choose not to because
when you're rich, you just,
Well, I don't like getting that stuff on my clothes.
Right. Do you even have like any work clothes?
Yeah.
Like I got a set of clothes that I'm taking up to the track this week that, like sweatpants and oversized sweatshirts that have, paint on them and grease on. Do you have like any, and what application in your life would you need something like that?
Well, my work clothes are last year's good clothes. And so they,
What do you want, button down Gucci?
When you going out,
Gucci shirt.
When you're going out, what are you going out and doing lawn work wearing $300 Gucci's?
Well, when I do lawn work, that's like painting white lines on my flag football field, and so I did that in probably a $500 outfit.
Oh my God!
That exaggeration.
What an excessive, what an a-hole, huh?
Jeez.
By the way, Dan is such an a-hole that he spent. Lummy, it was almost an uncomfortable moment. Thank God Anna wasn't here. Not that we have an HR department, but so Dan is standing in between the door. The door is open. He's halfway in the hallway and halfway in the studio, and he's like, "My balls are hot, man. My balls seem really hot right now. I got hot balls." We're like, Dan, what? I don't know. I'm just telling you, my ball. Dan,
You're the doctor. What do you want us to do?
Yeah, we don't know what to do about hot.
We don't know what that means.
We don't know what hot balls mean, and so Dan, as a doctor, proclaiming your balls to be so hot.
How can we cool them down immediately?
What potentially you might think you might have? Do you think you got an issue, a hot ball-itis?
No, I said my balls are sweaty, not hot.
Oh, okay.
And it was just because I guess I'm sitting on a plastic or leather chair, and so there's not a lot of ventilation.
Well, then you doubled down and came back and then described your balls
and
for
I said,
me.
I didn't say, because you were looking. I was like, it's not like I said they're like these pristine, glistening.
Are you cleanly shaven?
Yes.
Are your balls?
Yes, they are pristine, and they move a little bit with every heartbeat, but.
Oh my.
They do?
Yeah.
Your balls? Like, so if somebody wanted to check your pulse, they could check it in your balls?
Just watch my balls.
No, isn't that how? No, when they're checking for a hernia, and they remember when back in the old school days when they checked for a hernia and the doctor would grab one of your balls? What was he doing?
He wasn't grabbing your balls. He was sticking his finger in your. He was putting his finger in the little track that where your spermatic cord runs, and so he was seeing if there's a weakness there, because if you cough when your finger is up there, it pushes out on your finger.
Right. So, yeah, but I was always it was so embarrassing as because when you started playing sports, you had to get a physical starting like in 3rd, 4th grade. And you had these teeny tiny little balls.
Yeah, but they didn't care how big they were. They just wanted to make sure there were 2 of them.
I know, but I cared how big they were.
No,
they weren't very big at all. They looked, especially in my doctor, Dr. Alford, was like, the size, almost like Lummy. Like, that's how my family doctor, and then Dr. Galbraith was a little guy. But Dr. Alford, my first, small town, family, a physician. Back in the day, man, you just took your kid right to the doctors.
Yeah.
And then he would diagnose, and they could do sutures in the office, and they could do all kinds of sort of things. Well, they'd give physicals to you. He'd say, drop your jaw, and then there's your little baby balls in this guy's hand making you cough. It was very. I wouldn't think it was traumatic to me, but it's just something I'll never forget. A grown man feeling my balls.
Yeah, I still have to check for testicles when I take care of people with gynecomastia. I got to just make sure they have 2 descended testicles. You don't want to miss an undescended testicle because it can turn into cancer.
I can remember driving home after like the second year of getting your balls touched, and I didn't know if maybe this was something that they're not supposed to be doing. Like I was like kind of freaked out by thinking maybe I just got molested.
Did you talk to your mom about it?
So we're driving home. I can remember exactly where it was. It was by Woody's supermarket, and we're making that turn to go back to we're headed at this point. We're headed east. We go around the turn around Woody's, and I look at my mom and I said, "Mom, during my physical, Dr. Alford touches my balls," and she goes, "Oh yeah, they're checking you for a hernia. That's what they're supposed to do." I was like, "Oh." I thought I had one on. Like I thought,
thought something happened.
Yeah, I mean, because like your mom and your dad never. I guess they never really set me up saying, okay, you're going there. They're gonna weigh you. They're gonna move your knees all around. They're gonna look at you in your ears and your mouth. They're gonna put the listen to your lungs. They're gonna do an air.
My parents would go in with me.
Yeah, my
Same.
See,
usually they were there for the exam. Yeah.
No, not my.
You went to Larry Nassar, didn't you?
My parents just dropped me off.
Really?
Oh,
They just
boy.
drop you off as a kid?
At the doctor's office?
Yeah.
You might have something there then, Bubba.
Why did they care?
My mom would wait.
Did you check your prostate too at 9?
But like my mom didn't go to the back. She stayed in the lobby until I was like 11, and then from like 11 on, when I couldn't drive, she'd just drop you off and knew it'd be about 30 minutes by the time. Because you understand, every kid, they had like 3 days in a row, Dan, that this doctor would do nothing but sports physicals for the upcoming football season. So
so it was just loaded with kids trying out for sports?
Yeah. So like literally there'd be 14 of your buddies in the waiting room. And, Dr. Alford was just turning out the ball touching. You know what I'm saying?
Did you check with your friends and make sure he touched everyone's balls?
Well, that was kind of.
Or is it just some guys' balls?
No.
Like, were you a favorite?
Like here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you were a young kid, the older boys would kind of try to rib you on the deal. Be like, they're going to touch your balls, don't you?
At least you were warned.
And you're like, yeah. Yeah, they're going to touch your balls. They really touch your, you get ready to get your balls, they're really going to touch your balls. So then first time you're like, man, what's going to happen here? And then they touch your ball. But it's not a big deal. Like, it's not,
I like that.
They don't take the balls around the farm or nothing. Like, he just, like Dan said, he kind of puts like a karate chop hand up into the cord part of your penis, I think, which is connected to your abdomen, so which can tell you whether you have a sports hernia or not. That's like the first indicator. So, Dan, if you did have a hernia, like you wouldn't have much movement in that cord?
No, you'd feel the push. You'd feel the bulge as they coughed. It would get bigger.
Yeah, well, I always got, my balls always checked out good. But my mom had to tell me, so I said, well, if Dad would go in for the same thing I went in for, would they touch Dad's balls? And she goes, well, and she starts laughing. She's like, well, your dad's not playing any sports or anything like that, so he wouldn't have a reason to have his balls touched. So I was like, oh.
Did he check out the whole family or just you? Like, did he ever do any physicals on Tara?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Tara, when she was going through her she started out with kickball like in 4th grade, organized, school sponsored kickball like Madison versus the crosstown rivals, and then I think it was kickball in 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then girls basketball. So when she tried out for all that, they had a girl nurse. Like you didn't.
They were doing pelvic exams.
No, doctor, you didn't go to Dr. Alford for girl physicals. Right. There was a girl doctor.
Oh, interesting.
That did. That's kind of how it was.
Check your cervix.
I don't think yet. 4th graders are getting their cervix checked.
I hope not.
I mean, who knows what they were doing in Indiana back in the day? This guy might have had his license revoked 15 years ago.
I mean, I don't know. He might have gone to his grave with some real dark secrets. Might be some kids that got really touched in Warsaw. Let me just tell you this: I never got in a pro, which makes me feel kind of. Maybe I wasn't sexy enough. I don't know. Hello.
Hey, Bubba, it's Charlie.
Is this Charlie from before?
Yeah, I did some research on what we were talking about.
God, I love Freaky Phone Friday.
Me too.
It's the best, Seth. Best option ever.
Seth, a lot riding on this phone call right here. A lot. Go ahead, Charlie.
No. First of all, I agree with what you said. Absolutely, it's disgusting what that woman went through. If it's true, no, it's disturbing. It's truly disturbing.
No, but hold on. Did you see where this information came from some credible sources? Like this isn't, some rumor kind of deal. This comes from major networks are covering the story.
Well, I don't believe in any major network. I don't follow Fox News. I don't follow CNN. I don't follow the president. I don't follow Donald Trump because everybody is basically full of crap.
I understand that, but I mean, but evidence is evidence. Evidence is evidence.
Well, no, from what I've seen thus far, it seems like a very disturbing situation that this woman had to deal with. But let me ask you a question. Do you know what the definition of? I think it's pronounced obsquishously. Do you know what that word means?
No, I really don't. Hold on. Let me see if the brains of the operation knows.
No idea.
Dan?
I'm not sure he's saying it right.
Okay, no,
I apologize. What's the word? Go ahead. What's the word? How do you pronounce it properly?
Well, how can we tell you the word you're going to ask us that we don't know? Charlie, come on now.
Anyway, get to the point, man. It takes you 5 minutes to ask a single question. Just ask the question.
Well, I don't think it takes me 5 minutes. I'm just trying to articulate my point.
Dan, shut up.
Okay.
Charlie, go ahead.
So basically, okay, you guys know what a sycophant is, correct?
A sycophant?
Sycophant.
Yeah.
It's like a false idol.
No. Okay, you have no clue what I'm talking about. You know what? You guys have 5 brilliant. You know what? I took an IQ test once. I had an IQ of 90. That's basically below retard. The fact that I just brought up the word sycophant, and now one of you geniuses know what that word means.
Charlie,
go after yourself, Charlie. Can you hang up on this guy?
Charlie,
He's just annoying me.
Charlie, guess what? Have a good one, my friend. Stop calling, being a dick. Okay, see you later. These Freaky Phone Fridays, Lummy.
Great
Who the hell's
idea.
bright idea was that? Slouth on the couch. Hello.
I don't think he likes Charlie.
Bubba the Love Sponge. It's Joe the Supermarket.
Yes, Joe the Supermarket.
Sorry for your loss, first off, with Jesse Jean.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that here momentarily.
And I just have to thank Erica Merch Creek so much because the 2-day turnaround, I got my brand new black and red Bub Army backpack. I'm wearing it right now.
They're pretty badass, and we don't got a lot left, so they're pretty badass.
And the funniest thing is the nurse that brought it in to me, she wanted to know what it was. So we opened it up together, and I had her take a bunch of pictures of me holding it and stuff. But I asked her straight up, I said, hey, just your opinion, how much do you think this backpack is? And she's like, it's got to be $80 at least. So you're dead on, man. When you say it, it's true. It's a value.
I'm not making a lot of money on them, but I'm getting a lot of them out. And that's what the marketing aspect of, if we can break even, make a little bit on that, that's great. We're making some, but we're not killing it because
knock $100 on the Cash App.
So anyway, Joe, we appreciate you. I also appreciate some of the other things that you do. I appreciate you.
Awesome. God bless.
Brian from Philly, Lummy 25, and Hierarchy 65. Oh my God, Lummy. This is it. We need a big day today. Hierarchy 65, 250 on the PayPal.
Coming out of Wisconsin.
Now, Venmo's just still screwing me.
Yep.
Really?
Like to the point where, they give you this locked out screen and says, we'll have an answer in 24 hours. Well, that was Monday. And I guess there's this big government regulated thing now where they're coming down on all these companies. And, if you have too many transactions, it could lead to, it's the government is just, oh my God, I've never seen more government in my life than I've seen right now. Like the government is involved in everything.
They're reading the notes that you put on the transactions too.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are? For real?
Yeah, like when you send money and it says you got to add an emoji, you got to put something. They're checking to see what that is too, because
if it says gun or MAGA or Trump
or a couple other
anything,
things too, yeah.
anything that's not blue,
I just don't get it. I'm a normal businessman. We do get a high volume of people giving us money. That's how the show's a big telethon for the cult-like listeners that listen to the show and help fund the show. The Scout and the Big Gulps, the Cable Dogs, the Scotty Landers, the Neil Mount Pleasures. Just
John Costica.
Oh yeah, John Costica. Hierarchy 65. Brian from Philly, just everybody,
Greg and Amy.
all you boys,
And gals.
I don't even have exactly Melissa Carpenter and Teese and just Susan Poitras and Wizzy and
love that bitch.
Just I can't go on and on enough. I've left a million people out of there, but of course you guys understand, but that's really the only way we have to keep this program on the air. And if the government now makes it that you can't, PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo is far more cumbersome, or my volume of what I do is not acceptable, or they're going to gouge me for some more money or something, like that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
You think people might have to just start mailing checks here?
We did get a check before.
Money orders only. Is that what
Let's
you're
go
saying?
low tech.
I mean, if we
bring it back.
if we can't go forward, let's go backwards, Bubba.
We had that Canadian listener send us a check.
Hello.
Hey, good morning, Bubba. It's Farva. Haven't talked to you in a while.
Oh, are you on your walk?
Short. No, I just got done. I did 6 miles this morning.
Good for you.
I'm down 146 pounds.
Wow.
That's great.
Intermittent fasting. I love having Seth back on the show, so welcome back, Seth. The Two Live Jew, love that show. And Clayman Kush, another great show. So I just want to say you guys are doing great. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'm going to go ahead and drop off. You guys have a great weekend.
Appreciate the
you,
positive
Farva.
input, my friend. We are making some changes.
146.
Changing around. Yeah, that's great.
Impressive.
Rob Green, $50 on the Cash App.
Hello, who's this?
Stark contrast from
Hey,
Charlie.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, why does that lady keep on yawning?
What do you mean?
That's Charlie.
What? She keeps on yawning.
Hey, Charlie.
Okay.
Charlie.
Why do you have 4 people in your show kissing your ass nonstop? Have you ever seen Alicia Jordana's show?
Yes, I have.
And she's horrible.
Thank you. I love it.
Jesus.
Seth, may I have your permission to
Terminate.
Yes.
terminate? Can I hit
Yes.
that? Thank you.
Yes.
No more Freaky Phone
Can
Fridays.
you terminate Charlie?
Yeah. Guess what? Charlie blew it for everybody. If we can't do a show and the other person on the other line has something that contributes to the program, or a question that engages us in a good way, or maybe even in a bad way, but to just okay, Charlie, we would still have Freaky Phone Friday if you would have just left your first phone call as the only one that you made today. And then knowing that next Friday you can call in again, but you went 3 deep, which then ruins it for everybody.
He's just mentally disturbed.
Without
not on meds like you should be.
But here's the thing.
I know
Charlie,
what I'm listening to.
Charlie, here's the thing. You hate us. You call in and tell us how much we suck. You try to catch us in every gotcha moment, but you still listen. Isn't that like if I go to a restaurant and it sucks and I get food poisoning
You don't go back?
and I hate it, I don't go back.
No.
They serve you eel or something.
Yeah. Anna, I guarantee you, Anna has not been back to that joint that served her
No,
up
but I
some
have been
meal.
on Yelp.
What's that?
I said, but I have been on Yelp.
Oh yeah. She yelped out.
Given 0 stars.
So Charlie, go after yourself. Now, Dan, here we go. I was going to play your. This is
the post.
This is your Instagram post, and this is promoting more of the legal. This is Adams and I'm sorry. This is Diaco and Diaco.
Just Diaco Law.
Yeah, Diaco Law. This is a little video that you cut.
Yes.
That you guys have put up, and so I wanted to play it. I mean, I don't think I can get it any bigger. Can I?
No,
I think that's it.
Okay, let me just see here.
If you full screen your browser on the top right.
All right here like this. Oh,
There you go.
There you go. It's a little bit better. Yeah.
Not full screen, but
but much better.
Marginally bigger.
Yeah. So I got to go. All right, hold on here.
Hell yeah.
I want to go
Love
back because I want everybody to be able to see it from start to finish. Okay.
Text.
When he's a doctor and a lawyer, or an attorney and plastic surgeon.
Hold on, we're gonna play it again.
Sorry.
Where's Meredith?
Ooh. Oh, I know. We've all watched it. Let me see. All right, here we go. So, Dan, my observations.
Yes.
One, instead of showing you walking out of your plastic surgery center, they should have had you walking out of an OR, and, you know, with scrubs, full blown, you know, like more of a medical setting than just walking out of your office. Observation number one. It was and you were literally pulling off.
Like covered in blood?
No, not covered in blood, but, you know, taking off your rubber glove, walking out of the OR room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with all the OR background and the whole 9 yards, you know, then walking into your Ferrari that's not open rafter, you know, garage that it's either parked for you and ready to go, or it's not a far better setting than just the rafters. Well, here, hold on. Like that. That's not
my parking garage.
I understand that's your parking garage, and I understand that's your entrance to your plastic surgery center.
And
but
I don't wear scrubs outside.
But don't you think that walking out of an operating room and into your Ferrari?
But I don't do that though.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't wear scrubs in my Ferrari. It's not as seamless, because coming out of the operating room, taking off all my, you know, like my mask and my surgical gown, I have scrubs on after that. And so I understand that would be a cool picture, but I would not naturally go from that, take off my scrubs, go into my car in my scrubs, and then come out with a suit. Do you know what I'm saying? It didn't make the flow. I agree with the rafters. I hated the scene. I hated the background.
Listen, we're not doing a reality-based, factual. We're doing show business here. We're promoting your brand, and so I'm just saying. I know, regardless of the timeline as to what you change into what at what particular time, that doesn't matter in branding you. We're trying to brand you. Okay, we're not.
So should I take off the scrubs and have like a suit on underneath the scrubs?
No, but it shows you walking out of the operating room in full scrubs. Then it segues to you getting in your car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with maybe your lab coat. And then that shows pulling into Diaco Law. And then now from the pulling into Diaco Law on is perfect, except with they should have did that big yellow font that we use for our shorts. Have you seen the big yellow font?
It's easier to read.
Well, I mean, can anybody read this? I can't read it.
From here, it's hard to read.
I mean, I cannot read it.
On your phone?
It's white. It's a normal white font.
Okay.
I mean,
I see the yellow sticks out more.
No, it needs to be like that. Let me send me a.
Yeah, one of ours.
Oh, I'm getting.
Do you only get that when it's talk to text? You know what I
See,
mean?
like right there. Hold on. Like right there.
Yeah, it's washed out.
That all just
gets washed out.
I can't.
I understand.
I can't see. I can't. One, I think they move it along too fast, the font, and two, I can't see that. Read that, and when he's an attorney and a plastic surgeon. Hold on, let me see this. Let's play this again. Just want to make sure I get it. So, can anybody read that?
No, not
it's
really.
on a white lab coat.
It's hard to read.
With a white wall.
Totally agree.
And it's nothing special. Like, it's just, I know it is your office building, but like it doesn't really just put a really exclamation point on that you're a plastic surgeon. Anybody can buy a lab coat. But if you were walking out of an operating room, that shows me you're a plastic surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
So walking out of an operating room with the big yellow font.
I sent you two examples.
Let me show. I want Dan to. No, Dan. Here's the last thing I want you to think is that I'm trying to be a dick or Nick.
Oh, not at all.
I'm really
not at all.
Well,
no, I understand.
Like,
this is good criticisms. This is good. This is good feedback.
Is that what you sent me, Lummy?
No, I sent you two examples of it.
Okay, in the IM?
Yes.
All right, Lummy. Sometimes it goes way.
You got to scroll down on it, maybe?
All right, I got it.
Okay.
Here we go. Thank you.
That's why. See how it's bold?
Yeah, I mean, see,
But isn't that like talk to text? You know?
Well, I mean, you can you can put
read
any
it.
font
You can
want
change
in.
the font.
You can
Yeah.
change the font while you're making the video.
I also
But
see
see,
the
Dan,
big yellow one,
Dan,
too.
see what the big yellow one.
Yeah, it's easier to read.
All right, compared to that.
Yes, I see the difference. Absolutely.
I sent you a one with the big yellow too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, maybe is that one? That's the one Dan needs. At the end of the day, which one is it? The very
It's
last.
the big yellow.
Yeah, the big yellow one.
The big yellow one.
Yeah, that one.
Here you go.
Oh.
Yeah. Now see, I mean that
I don't know if that really looks professional.
that might be a little too much, but it might
Something
not
in
be.
between, but something in between.
But something in between.
I agree.
That.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Full Hulkamania.
and that or that. So that in conjunction with walking out of something that is far more special than just your front entrance to your plastic surgery center, which is special, but doesn't any human being could make that shot. Not every human being can get into a hospital walking out of the OR room that he has privileges on, fully garbed up after just having done a breast augmentation.
I totally understand.
Okay.
Implant in hand.
And then you said even you didn't like this shot.
Yes, I didn't like it.
They could have had this shot staged where you
Just the car was outside on the street.
on the street.
Yeah.
Who filmed it?
And you.
Pity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoever's in the reflection there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
you can see him.
Yeah, see, I mean, like things like that.
Yes, I see it.
All right,
I see it.
hold on.
Bad for a commercial.
You got Pity. Look, nice underarms, Pity. Now this is great, except for if it had the big chunky yellow font.
Or you could have the same font with like a black bubble behind it. You know what I mean?
And see again,
Wait,
I
black
can't
bubble.
even read the words, but I see what you're doing, and I like what you're doing, and I like your car, and I like the way you pulled up into your pimp ass office, and that big office does mean something. That that you can see that's a super.
So the second half is good, except the font. The first half should be redone.
Yes.
Okay.
But like, how do you feel about those criticisms? Walking out of an OR.
I don't like the OR part because I don't like the scrub part, but I 100% agree with the text and the images. I 100% agree with the background of the garage or the parking structure, and I think we could do a different, better transition from defining what is it like to be a doctor versus going into the law firm.
Right.
But this is again we're learning.
Now hold on, and then this should dissolve quickly into like
a logo.
No. Yeah, maybe a logo, or like you at your desk looking with a bunch of real important books and stuff, looking over a case.
Okay.
Because your desk and that backdrop of your desk,
pretty, right?
So you have your desk staged as if you're doing some legal type situation.
Right.
So that's why the OR is important, because it's two different skill sets. You're walking out of an OR, and there's not a guy that's a lawyer in this town for the most part that can do that. And there's not a lot of those guys that can do lawyering. Boom. That's just my opinion.
I like your feedback.
You know what? You should just let me shoot this stuff. Shoot it far better. You ever
Okay.
seen the food review? That thing's badass.
It is.
But no, Bubba, you know what you're talking about, and I appreciate the
Now,
feedback.
does anybody else, Seth, do you second my opinion? Like, and I want everybody to be honest. Like, knowing my vision and what I think it should have been. Am I being too critical? Am I being a dick? Or am I wrong? Am I right? I like to know everybody's opinion.
I mean, I think with social media and creating content, I don't think there's wrong or right, but I think there's obviously always ways to do things better. I just feel like with your vision, Bubba, if Dan does what you're talking about, I feel like you should be on set that day. I feel like you should be directing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would do that if they would let me. I would do that absolutely if they let me.
Well, we can let you direct, absolutely. And like I said, I agree.
Well, good. After the 19th, can we shoot a new one?
Sure, we can. And and what you're saying is kind of extending it on both ends by like maybe Caveman even mentioned start off with me with a patient. You don't really see the patient, but just see me talking to a patient, and then leave the office and then do the stuff that you saw, but a little bit better. And then the last being at the desk, like I'm actually practicing law. So I think extending it, making it a little bit more detailed.
You can make these shorts can be a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. They can,
I don't know that.
They
Well,
can.
Can I kind of chime in here?
Yeah. Oh, no, hold on. Absolutely, you can because you probably know more than all of us, and this is more so in your lane than mine. Yes, go ahead.
You got to kind of look at it under the guise of it's just supposed to be a dumb TikTok style video. Like short clips on Instagram are the way to get a lot of views on Reels. And I think, Dan, you guys have been pushing this stuff out as like paid content. You've been paying for ads because I've been getting a lot of Diaco Law over my Instagram, and it's a lot of stuff like this. So, like, I totally get what you're saying, Bubba, and all of your criticisms are valid, but like it's just a little Instagram video. They put out a couple of these a week, if I'm not mistaken, right?
They're trying to put out a lot of content.
Yeah. Like the girl that they have working for their social media.
All right, well,
she's like 20, 21.
But here's the deal. Listen, here's the deal. Regardless of who's doing it, how often we're doing it, how long it is, what it is, whether I'm overthinking it or not, you want the most eye-catching, clicky, clickbaitable, having watched the entire thing content up there.
You're right.
And so that's what my judgment or my opinion of this is just that I think you can do. They had to shoot the scene of walking out of the office. Doesn't take any more effort to shoot a scene walking out of an operating room. It's just a different location.
Mm-hmm.
Staging the car is not doesn't take more manpower or anything. Staging the car better so there's not a bunch of rafters with grandma's SUV in the background doesn't take any more effort than it did to shoot what you did.
Right.
Walking in, everything else, doing the yellow font doesn't take any more effort than the font that they already had to ingest. Then walking up, I love your spiral staircase. They should open the door up, and that's the first thing you see is the spiral staircase. The next shot shows you on the last step of the spiral staircase, walking into your office. Boom. Then you dissolve to you at your desk with all of these law paper. Boom. Then you dissolve into the logo. Bam.
I could just see you like 400 years ago. Hey, Leonardo, that smile. I'm not too sure about that smile.
The C Morning Zoo on Z100.
Dude, that was awesome. No way. I reject that Tuki
Hey,
Tuki.
let me see. Do I have a second on the Tuki Tuki?
I think he went way too deep for a Tuki Tuki.
So you're saying that it was too intellectual to be a slap dick?
It was like a Dennis Miller kind of joke. So I don't think it was sticky at all.
All right.
I'm not going to give you a second, but I'll give you a fifth.
All right, Dan. So can we?
Are you taking it back, Bubba?
No.
Okay.
My criticism?
No, the Tuki Tuki. This Daniel. Okay.
Yes. You know what? I see. That's how fair I am, Seth.
Thank you.
Sustained.
I told everybody that I was, I gained 7 pounds, and I actually had an open enough mind to take back a Tuki Tuki on advisement from said staff. I mean, I think I'm pretty damn good boss right now, to be honest with you. Thank
You're
you.
the best.
Yeah, take that, Charlie.
We're a bunch of sycophants.
So
just
Dan,
praising you.
on
Round-nosers.
After February 19th, when my life starts getting normal,
Yes.
can I shoot?
Yes.
Can I shoot one?
A couple. Let's do a couple. Let's sit down, brainstorm, and do a couple.
I'm sure somewhere
you're-
I'm driving your car or something.
I'm sure your creative input will be absolutely invaluable and helpful.
You know the other things at work, because when I'm at the track, I only get like regular,
girls with big round asses.
No, I only
big jugs?
I only get when I'm watching TV at the track. I only get like local stations that my antenna can pick up on my RV. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I get the Fox affiliate out of Gainesville. I get like the ABC and NBC, CBS out of Ocala. Out of Orlando. A bunch of Ocala public service stations. I get like Grit and like Cozy, like these all these signals that are just through the air that you can just pick up old school antenna.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I get. So this Dan Newland guy, it seems like personal injury firms now, everybody's keeping score. Like I told Dan a long time ago that I thought he should have one of his advertisings for his plastic surgery center. You know, everybody's about size. Morgan & Morgan has gone to the size matters. And then everybody else goes to the how much money collectively have either one, these clients that we prop up on TV and they go, Dan Newland got us $875,000. That really helped, Dan. Thank you. Like, and then, you know, Dan Newland comes on and says, over $1 billion collected for you, the injured. And don't forget, we don't get paid if you don't get paid. But they actually have, like, they're keeping score. They're giving you hard data.
We got to get you some more channels out there, Sponjo.
Yeah. But like the personal injury, and I know that you see it, the personal injury ads that a lot of these guys, these big time guys are running are, you know, they get their clients to do this little, you know, 7-second testimonial on all of their big winnings, and they're like, hey, you know, Diaco Law has won, you know, $1.4 billion for its clients since it's been open. Have you seen a lot of that, Dan, where they keep score?
Yes. Yes.
It seems like,
Yes.
I'm sure you guys have a very impressive number. And then secondly, Dan, I thought we were going to I thought we had said that you'd like maybe done like almost $40 million worth of boob jobs.
It's close to that now, but the problem is that that's money to me, not money to my clients, and so it doesn't sound as fun. You know what I mean? Like if I say I've gotten the people of Tampa Bay $50 million in settlements, it's better than saying that I've made $50 million from the people of Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I meant.
I understand
that's what
that.
I meant.
Like Dan could say, I've given thousands of women confidence and made thousands of men in Tampa Bay very horny.
Yes.
Like that's
right.
You know, that's giving it back to the people.
I sent you a lawyer ad. If example.
Yeah. So And I see all these because they run them on regular TV, and they run like it's almost one after the other. It's like these are the only guys. These are the only guys that are advertising on these types of television stations. You know what I'm saying? These lawyer guys.
They won't even fix my car.
Here we go. Hold on. Where's it? Let me rewind.
That's the guy?
No, this is.
Oh, okay.
This is I don't know where this is at. Brownsville. This is
Texas.
This Texas?
Yeah.
This is a Texas one. Let me see if you can find Dan Newland. Hey, you want to listen to this? I did some research on Dan Newland. I watch TV sometimes and I Google things. Dan Newland, who's all over the Ocala Gainesville market with, you know, and I think he's got an office in Tampa as well. He used to work at Morgan & Morgan 10 years ago, and he splintered off. And
took the same template?
He figured out the template of, and then he got an investor. That's the way this works. Then he got an investor to give him like $4 million seed money, and all the money was just straight advertising about, you know, how much money he, like real live testimonials from people that he's won money from. But he used to work for Morgan & Morgan 10 years ago, and now he's like second or third. He's almost as big as Morgan & Morgan, this Dan Newland guy.
I sent you a short from him and also a commercial.
All right. I'd rather play that than these ones from Texas here. Let me see here.
Do you want Dan Newland as a guest?
Yeah, let's get.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Well, no, I don't know. That might be disrespecting Dan. Here we go.
As a veteran of the United States Army, I understand service. That's why after my car accident, I called attorney Dan Newland. Dan won my case and got me $300,000. Dan, your team's service was 5-star. Thank you for winning my case.
Oh my God! Come on.
Let me find me a Dan Newland with Dan Newland, because he gets on there and says, "Hi, I'm Dan Newland," and it says former deputy. I guess he was a deputy sheriff at one time, and they say that too.
I trusted the insurance company, and now they won't even fix my car or cover my medical bills. I should have dialed $3 million.
I worked for an insurance company for many years. After my car accident, I knew what I had to do. I dialed $3 million, and Javier Villarreal settled my case for over $1 million.
Hold on a second.
See, again,
you had me until
it's all shtick.
What?
It's all shtick. I dialed $3 million. So does that mean is that 956 $3 million? Is that what you dial?
Yep.
That's
3 and 6
that's
zeros.
almost as brilliant, isn't it?
It is, yes.
I mean, Dan.
3 million.
Had to do. I dialed $3 million, and Javier Villarreal settled my case for over $1 million.
Yeah,
what?
I don't know. Listen, hold on.
I dialed 3 million, and Javier Villarreal settled my case for over $1 million.
I'm attorney Javier Villarreal. I represent.
Hold on, who is he?
Javier Villarreal.
In dollars.
I'm attorney Javier Villarreal. I've represented thousands of clients after their car accident, including those that work for insurance companies. When they got in a car wreck, they dialed 3 million.
Just dial 3,300,0000.
Dude, they just went like telenovela on our ass. Like,
That's why I can't do foreign languages, Bubba. He said his name 5 times. I still can't tell you his name.
Villa de la Rosa. I don't know.
But what I'm saying, Dan, is like unfortunately, this world.
You want testimonials, Bubba?
That's what this world's based on. Here we go. I got to find it. Is this the Dan? So Dan Newland has his own YouTube channel?
Yeah. Havoc, $50 Cash App, more Dan, less Brian.
More Dan, less Brian?
Yeah, that's just what he said.
All right, let me find a couple of these Dan Newland commercials. I think this might be Dan Newland right here. Hold on.
Central Florida.
Yeah, right here.
My family and I.
Here we go. This. He tries to act like he lives like in Ocala or Gainesville when he's on the Ocala or Gainesville station, but really he's got a big-ass fancy office in Orlando.
Central Florida. My family and I would like to send a heartfelt thank you to all of our healthcare providers, medics, nurses, doctors, and our first responders. You're risking your lives like never before to save others. You are the true heroes of the world, and because of you, we'll get through this and come out even stronger. Thank you for your professional service. You are the very best that we have.
All right, that's not the example of him. I gotta get. I just need a Dan Newland commercial.
Dan Newland sucks.
I know he died.
You're putting this guy over big time, Bubba.
Maybe this is a better. I'm just trying.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Central Florida Business Strong. What would you like to say to Channel 9 viewers?
In the blink of an eye, the world literally changed overnight. Flo, what advice?
Flo?
He's
Like
with,
Flo Rida?
He's with Flo Rida. Look.
Oh God.
He's with Flo Rida.
But I sent you one of his actual
What would you give to
commercials.
everyone that's watching out there?
Most importantly, we need to stay home, stay safe.
I was rear-ended at
wash our
55 miles an
hands,
hour.
keep our
Attorney Dan Newland was able to recover $250,000 from my injuries.
This is exactly.
I was rear-ended.
I know that you and Jay don't want to do this. But this just seems like what everybody's doing right now. It's like when Joe Rogan told me to start podcasting in 2008. If I just listened. Right, Seth, for real. Joe, I walked.
Joe Rogan.
I walked Joe Rogan out to his car after he was, going to be at the Comedy Store or the Chuckle Hut or whatever the hell is around here.
Improv side splitters.
Yeah, and so and he's like, man, Bubba, one, I enjoyed your show. 2, you got a great show. And 3, you got to start podcasting. After you and the guys get done with your last show, you need to, just for 30 minutes, just BS, maybe about stuff that you would, is even dirtier than, what you would talk about on satellite. And I'm like, listen, I'm making $5 million a year. I have to do 2 shows a day. I was doing 2 shows a day, mornings, and then, I was doing 6 to 10. And 3 to 7.
That's brutal.
And I was not going home, dying. And so I didn't want to stay 30 extra minutes for nothing.
Right.
But had I listened and I started a podcast in 2008, Seth,
you'd be Tim Pool.
I would be Tim Pool.
I was rear-ended at 50.
And so Dan, it's like I know you and Jay probably won't end up doing this, but you might want to consider it because it's just what everybody's doing. And plus, you're better looking than Dan Newland.
Well, thank you.
And Jay's better looking than Dan Newland. Dan Newland's a cheese.
Dan Newland looks like a yoked up Steve Kerr.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
He does look like a yoked up Steve Kerr. Here we go. This is how Dan Newland's. Which, by the way, Dan Newland just ripped this off from Morgan & Morgan. Right.
Right.
And Morgan & Morgan. I mean, you certainly cannot argue their success.
Jesus.
Right.
I know.
I mean, Dan, what are they? What's? I think I literally think that
$1 billion.
I think that
he funds presidential campaigns.
Yeah, I think John Morgan's worth like $80 million or $100 million.
Oh, it's probably.
I was rear-ended at 55 miles an hour. Attorney Dan Newland was able to recover $250,000 from my injuries, and I'm very thankful.
Hi, I'm attorney Dan Newland. I was honored to recover $250,000 to help Scott with his accident.
See, Dan, we live in this world where everybody wants numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Got it, Lummy.
Case, and I'd be honored to personally help you too. Remember, there's no fees or costs unless I win your case. So call me now from anywhere in Central Florida at 407-888-8000.
If I ever need an attorney again, I'd be sure and call attorney Dan Newland.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course, Dan Newland.
Jeez.
So anyway, Dan. Not Dan Newland. Not Dan Newland, Dan Diaco. You should have said your commercial should be like, hey, it's Dan Diaco, the only real Dan that matters. There's other Dans that are rolling around here trying to be a big... But let me tell you something. That Dan just used to be a deputy sheriff. You know what this Dan is? This Dan's a doctor and a lawyer, bitch. And I also coach flag football, one hell of a husband, and I'm pretty well hung. So how about that? You want that puss boy over there that used to be a sheriff that quit for whatever reason to represent your case? Or you want a guy like me that's going to roll up in a Ferrari and $700 shoes? That's right, about to get mines. Call 1-888-SPERM, whatever the hell our number is.
888 SOS firm.
1-888-SOS firm.
Are we cutting a promo or doing commercials?
Boom.
Yes.
Both. Boom. Dan Diaco, the only Dan that matters. All other Dans are puss-ass.
Seems like I need to have like
A Jamaican horn?
Chris Hart or Kevin Hart or Patrick Mahone do my commercials.
No.
They do every commercial. Every commercial now is either Mahone.
No.
Or Hart.
Nope.
Hey, Kelsey.
Nope. Gronk. You got to get Gronk. You see Gronk. Hey, I just want to let you know, man, I got the best Botox from this guy right here. And it shows you Botoxing up Gronk. And he goes, and just happens to be my girlfriend got in a car wreck last week, and we're using him for an attorney, too. That's right, Dr. Dan Diaco right here.
Botox and mirror ends.
Right. Botox or a fender bender.
There you go.
We got you, buddy.
Well, you really put that other guy over, Sponjo.
Who, Dan Newland?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna...
I can't help it, Seth. Every time I watch TV,
Is it all you get?
All I get is Dan Newland commercials.
Call him next time you see it and tell him he's a bitch and that there's another Dan in town.
Yeah. The only Dan Newland's pussy.
He's a huckster.
He is a huckster. He's a quitter.
What the hell's going on out there in
I don't
Ocala?
know. So anyway, Dan, that's my idea, and
Okay, I like it, and I will have you help with the creative planning and the production.
I'm not helping with none of it. I'm doing it all.
Okay,
Bubba
you can do it.
Tarantino.
Okay, yes.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might need Pity there for support, but I don't need any. I don't need that girl there. I don't need just me and you.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot. That's just me and you.
You gonna bring the bullhorn, Bubba?
What do you mean?
I
mean, Okay, Dan, listen. All right, cut. Dan, listen, when you come out of the surgery center, I need you to be with your left foot first because that's the way the door opens, okay? So let's go back. Take two, Dan. Go back. Okay, and then action. Go ahead, Dan. Walk through those doors.
Okay. I think that'd be great.
Perfect. Cut. Pity, stop cutting. Yeah, stop there. Okay. Now, let's stage the car. Yeah, and you know what, Dan? I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. I could be very wrong.
I don't think you.
About my next observation.
Oh, it's a new one.
No, hold on. Yeah, it's a new one. It's a different one.
Damn.
If I'm wrong, then correct me. But I don't. Not necessarily here. Hold on.
Do you like the Genuine? Do you like the music selection?
Hold on. Hey now, I'm a rock star.
Oh, yeah.
Laid.
Smash Mouth?
Yeah. Hey now, I'm a rock star.
Get paid. R.I.P.
I know.
So,
sad.
Dan, I don't necessarily know by looking at the wheels of your car. Hold on. I don't know that your car's freshly detailed.
Dude, there's a carbon fiber wheels with not an ounce of dust on them.
Okay.
Yes, they were tight.
Okay, then I was wrong on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just the carbon fiber weave is looking like it's not clean. It's just
buddy.
the weave of the carbon.
It's the weave.
By the way, you could use Dan Newland.
sorry.
You're never going to have Dan Newland get on the phone with you. It's going to be one of his jobbers.
Oh, you'll never talk to Dan Newland.
No.
I will tell you this. If you get in a major car wreck and you hired the Diaco Law, that you'll become best friends with Dan and Jay. You'll be talking to him so much if your case is big enough. Just telling you.
Probably.
What's that?
Likely have our cell phone numbers.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dan, we'll recut this.
Okay.
If as long as you're okay with it.
I'm cool with it.
All right.
I'm all about trying to help.
Now,
I'm here to help.
Now, do you think if we? Yeah, you're right.
We're way past.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So much for being on time today.
Double bell.
Wait a second.
I'm getting an idea.
Compelling and compassionate?
No, yeah, no, wait.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, no.
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
I looked up that word that Charlie said, obsequious. I always have that problem. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna talk to you guys for like one more minute and then that's it. My hair been looking real crazy. Do you know? Interesting. Okay, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm really sorry. So sorry.
Hello, YouTuber. Hi. CC Hall. Ned's herpes. Grouper lips.
Hey, Neds.
Good day. Did you see him?
What? Yes. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, he's good. He's just like, he still did. My brother did do a little procedure yesterday, to keep his
so gotta stay there at least a couple more days.
You said he was just under 5 pounds?
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
nothing?
my brother had a baby.
Who?
My brother.
Oh,
A couple
small?
days ago. Yeah, she had it a few weeks early. It's in the NICU.
Oh,
It's not holding, I guess the sugar levels or whatever it is, or.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or keep going down.
I'm sorry. It's stressful. What city?
Here. They're at St. Anthony's? What's right down the street?
St. Joe's?
St.
St.
Joe's.
Joe's, yeah. St. Joe's. St. Joe's.
They're good there.
Yeah, that's where Walker was born.
Morning, Felix.
Dad almost beat the shit out of us. I couldn't see us because COVID protocols.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing sexy or glamorous about this broadcast. Just press play.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
But I don't know that if I can talk about him or not.
Oh.
Hold on here. I'm sorry.
Oh,
there we
he
go.
said, let's find out.
What's the concern?
I'm gonna have to run it by my just a couple people in my life before I talk about this next particular thing that's really bugging me, but I don't know that I should say anything about it. You know what I'm saying?
Am I bugging you?
No, it's not you.
Okay.
Why? You automatically think
me,
that it's
isn't
you.
it?
No, it's
Not Anna either.
Here, rest assured, it's nobody here.
Oh.
Okay. Wow.
I can barely.
We're
Can we adjust Seth's lighting, or does he want to be the guy, the stealthy guy on the couch that you can just see?
You wore couch camouflage with the black shirt.
Yeah. Lummy, maybe next break we can light Seth up if he's okay
Light
with
it up.
being more
There's
lit.
a ring light on him.
Are you? Can we more?
Are you okay with that, Seth?
Yeah, you guys do whatever you need to do.
Here, hold on a second. I can fix this right now.
Oh, wow.
I forgot Dr. Dan.
He's a
is
photographer as well.
He's the light guy.
What's that other attorney's name? He can't do this.
Dan Newland.
Yeah,
Dan Newland. Dan Newland. First of all, is not a doctor. Secondly, is not a radio host, and thirdly, does not know a lot about lighting. And screw whether he was a deputy sheriff or not. Dan Diaco would whip Dan Newland's ass. Would you not, Dan?
No, God. Even with my broken shoulder.
How did you break your shoulder?
It's not broken.
By the way,
I just
Seth
have it.
looks so much better.
Thank you.
You got a
pop.
certain you're popping, you're glowing, kid.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know what's going on. I can't really see myself.
I'm working on eventually, Lummy, making this area over here beside me a microphone position with a monitor and like what you guys have.
Oh, nice.
Right here, but that might freak me out. In all of my career, Well, I had Brent kind of that close to me when we had our other setup in our other studio, right?
Yeah.
So having a guy right there to my immediate right, but boy, him of all people, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking over there, and he's like, just side looking at me the entire time.
Who?
You. He'd probably put you there.
Well, I know we talked about it. I just didn't know if,
or
do I'm not close to you?
Or maybe I make that the baby face / Dan area. You know what I'm saying?
What area?
Up there?
Right here.
Oh, you want Dan? You want Babyface that close to you?
I really don't. So I don't know.
You want me, but not Babyface that close.
I want you, and I think I could maybe deal with Seth, but certainly could not.
You could just keep Babyface in like Studio B.
Yeah, we are getting that up to speed too. So
just put a camera in him and put him in that room by himself.
Yeah,
or you can just turn off the lights.
So let me when I go into words.
Turn off his mic.
When I go into words next time, I'm going to make a few texts to see if I could, if this is if this is something I should talk about or not. So we probably need to finish our football team.
Yeah.
As I will not be here tomorrow. I'm sorry, all next week. I will not be here all next week. Anna will be the host. And so I do have a little pep talk to give everybody. I wrote down notes for everybody with regards to me being out tomorrow next week, and how I'd like for you to take in consideration these notes that I have concocted for each individual person.
So this is the game plan if Patrick Mahone is like injured for a week?
Whatever. Who is Kansas City's backup? I don't even know.
No one knows.
The white guy.
Ew.
Some
That's
dude.
disgusting.
Some white guy.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, if we were to finish out our football team, we have me as Patrick Mahomes, Lummy as Luke Musgrave from the Packers. Very, very much a lot of potential, stud, go to.
I got Dan's guy.
Yeah. Dan, who's Dan?
Debo Samuel. Does it all. Run, pass, whatever you need.
You know what?
I'm sorry, run, pass, catch, whatever. He can do it all.
I'll take that into consideration, but I like it so far. Lummy, who would you say for Dan?
Who?
Do you like the Debo Samuel?
Yeah, that's good. I was gonna, because I was thinking Packers. Was gonna say.
This doesn't have to be a Patrick-centric team. I mean, I'm Patrick Mahomes. I'm not a Packer. Just because you're a Packer doesn't mean Dan has to be a Packer.
Then I'd say he's Mike Evans. He's a superstar. He drops the ball a couple times, but normally he shows up when we need him.
All right. Okay, I like that. So Mike Evans and Debo Samuel. Anna, now this is going to show your vast knowledge of NFL, or how you've been reading chat. I know you're very, very freaked out by this, but
I'm not reading chat, and no, I'm not freaked out. I think I know enough players.
Okay.
How about a Tyreek Hill?
I love it. That's what I was going to say.
Boom.
Tyreek Hill.
You really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because
see, I know football.
No, hold on. Because why?
He got 4 baby mamas.
Yeah, that's why.
Because him and Dan have the same skin complexion.
No. I mean, like, why Tyreek Hill?
Because he's a good player, despite being, maybe a little bit brash.
Okay.
Right?
Seth, this would be you already said Debo Samuel.
Sorry, I got a little excited.
Yeah, Brett, it'd be interesting to know. I got Mike Evans, I got Debo Samuels or whatever the hell it is, and I got Tyreek Hill.
If it didn't have to be a current player, my pick would be Ocho Cinco.
Yeah,
thank you.
Or Terrell Owens, maybe.
Yeah.
T.O.
Yeah. Antonio Brown, maybe.
That's Seth.
I don't know about that far.
Right. But it does have to be a current. It does have to be a current player. So
I would take off my shirt after every game.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay, Odell. Okay. And then finally, Macho Man. Oh, yeah, I know more about wrestling than I do football.
Why can't we do bodybuilders? Why do we have to be damn football?
No one knows bodybuilders.
You could be Dorian Yates.
They actually put work in.
All right, so if you don't know
bunch of pansies.
if you don't know it,
Macho's anti-football. I didn't even know this.
Yeah, he hates sports like me.
If you don't want to participate because you hate the NFL, then your answer is I hate the NFL.
I've never heard somebody say, let's name bodybuilders. In my whole radio career, it's awesome.
Yeah, true. In my entire radio career, when we're talking about the NFL, when it came to a guy's turn, I've never heard the word. Let's go ahead and talk about bodybuilders instead of Joe Montana.
I would actually prefer that.
All right, so Macho, I'm actually going to excuse you from this conversation, okay? Because we don't know bodybuilders like you do.
Thank you.
Chris Bumstead all day.
I think I'm going to go with Debo whatever that guy's name is.
Debo Samuel.
Debo Samuel. Dan. That's who you are. Okay.
Debo.
Now, Anna. No, don't forget
Who
who
am I?
I'm Patrick. Well, we're not asking you who you are. We're going to think about
okay.
who you are.
Yeah. Am I the fans that froze outside?
Oh, jeez, man.
Wow.
You know what happened there?
No. Okay, okay. So Seth, I really need your insight
For Anna?
for Anna.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there in my head.
Okay, Lummy, anything off the top of your head for Anna? Kind of irritating, but is comes through in a
Well, I
clutch.
was trying to think of like a decent kicker.
I got it.
You know, because the kickers
All
are
right.
irritating. So I mean,
Seth, over to you. You got it.
All right, while you're going through kickers, Lummy, I got Jalen Ramsey. Cornerback, springy.
Thank you.
Some people hate him. Pretty good. A lot of people hate him.
Okay.
Very good.
What's his name again?
Jalen Ramsey.
You don't even know who he is?
Jalen Ramsey.
One of the best corners in football.
I think he plays for the Eagles, doesn't he?
He does play for the Dolphins.
No,
yes.
for the Dolphins. Jalen Ramsey.
Sorry.
Didn't he used to be a Jaguar?
Yes.
yeah.
Jaguar,
And a
Rams.
Ram.
Hold on. I'll drop the mic on all you bitches. Jaguar, Rams, Miami.
There we go.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Bitch, suck it.
Bring it over.
Yeah.
Ew. It's a little crazy.
too
Dan will tackle you for it.
You guys are such sycophants.
Jalen Ramsey. Lummy, your suggestion.
Andrews Carlson,
Who's that?
the Packers kicker.
Yeah. No,
I was just trying to think of
Why
I'm not
can't I
gonna-
just be a backup quarterback? Wouldn't that make sense?
Why can't you let me get out of Green Bay?
I don't know.
What have you done to him, Bubba?
Yeah, I don't know. Jesus.
You're a free man, Lummy.
Dan, any suggestion that potentially, and then Rhett's going to have something. Dan?
It was either going to be Gay, the kicker, or Trubinsky.
Oh,
Mitch
yeah.
Trubinsky.
Matt
She's
Gay.
Michael.
Thank you.
She's Mike Trubinsky.
It's Mitch Trubinsky.
Mitch Trubinsky. Yeah. Rhett, you're inside,
Donovan Smith.
and give me your reasons
you.
why.
Oh God, that's mean.
That's hurtful.
Lummy, what does Donovan?
No,
Smith?
he's a Super Bowl champion left tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
talk him up.
Currently plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's one of the worst left tackles in
He
history.
had his
Ouch.
best year. He had his best year so far this season with the least amount of penalties of his career. I think he only had like 4 or 5 holding calls this year. He usually averaged 1 or 2 a game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's either him or what Seth said. What is? Let's make her Jalen Ramsey.
I just feel like she's a springy, like safety cornerback, something like that. You know, someone that'll just jump out, punch the ball out of out of nowhere, something like that.
All right, now over to Seth. Who is Seth? Lummy, over to you first.
Donald Driver.
I actually was about to say Aaron Jones, but I'm stuck in Packers world.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he's a stud running back, and when he shows up, he actually absolutely kills it.
You know what? You're right. But then sometimes he's tweaked and he's effed up and he's not with the deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Aaron Jones. How about you, Dan?
I'm still thinking on Seth.
Okay.
I mean, I
Seth,
wanted
do you
to
have a
say Sam.
do you have a suggestion for
Michael
yourself?
Sam.
Oh no,
You do not?
No.
Rhett, over to you.
Jay Cutler.
He's not in the league anymore, bitch. Has to be a guy in the league.
Dan, who'd you say?
Michael Sam.
Who's Michael Sam?
He's not in the league
Defensive
either.
lineman.
He's not in the league.
He was the first
Stud.
player to come out as
A
gay.
stud. Big stud. Raw hung.
No, I think Seth hit it right. Anna, do you have any suggestions?
Yes. Jerome Jackson.
Okay, who's Jerome?
I don't know. Isn't
Nobody
there
knows.
probably
You just
someone
made
in
up
the...
a name that you thought was an African American football player.
Would there be someone in the
that's
league
so
named Jerome?
outrageous.
I ran out of players. I don't know any more players.
You know what? I'm giving it. It's Aaron Jones. It's Aaron Jones because when he's good. But you can't necessarily count that he's going to be there. He might have Seth. Would it take any of us by surprise if you guys all walked in at 57? I said, hey, I just got a text from Seth, and he had a complete meltdown last night, and he feels as if like he can't, as the dogs are barking in the background. This is like a goddamn PetSmart. Like it's just
There's animals pissing all over the place.
We got goats out back pissing on each other's faces. We got 2 dogs.
do?
We got a pit bull.
They love peeing on their
We got
face.
Jesus,
hold on,
Lummy.
It's a
Seth,
goat thing.
Seth, you didn't know that? It's a goat. It really is a
No,
goat
I thought
thing.
Lummy was raising them better than that.
No,
no.
It has nothing to do with being who raises them.
Yeah.
It's a goat thing. Like they pee on their own faces.
Like when babies.
Hold on, they're not even cool. Hold on, they're not even cool enough to pee on your buddy's face, which kind of gives you a show of dominance, which kind of is cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let me. If I was like, if you're a big stud, you say, "Hey, come here," and you pee on his face. And the guy takes it. Aren't you displaying dominance to him? But our goats, and all goats for the most part, they don't pee on their opponent's face. They pee on their own face.
Well,
Maybe it gets them psyched up.
Well, it's weird because when baby's about ready
If I
to
peed
fight.
on my face, I'd be mad as hell too and want to go fight the guy.
Well, that's the thing is when baby's trying to fight him, Hootie then pees on his face. It's like, and then baby doesn't actually want to mess with him.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, that
'Cause you
guy's
got pee
crazy
face.
if he's peeing on his own face.
Honest to God, seriously.
I'm like, damn, I'm
If
not
you're-
messing with that goat.
If you're in a nightclub, man, you
Peeing
know,
on his own face.
you're in a nightclub, right? The guy goes, "You want to take it outside, buddy?" You're like, "Yeah, you're damn right I do." And you walk out there and you guys are squared up. He goes, "Hold on a second." And it's like, all right. You take a step back. He whips out his wiener. He pees all over his face. I'm like, man, I am not.
running,
If he's peeing on his own face, what is he going to do to me?
I'm running to Valet to get my car, buddy. I'm saying,
This
man.
guy's out of his mind.
I mean, I'm not fighting piss face. I'm not.
That's a great way to win a fight. Just pee all over yourself.
So, Bubba, what happened, man? That guy called your wife a whore, and you're a washed-up hack and a cheater and all this kind of deal. I know I was going to go out and fight him. He was just a little dude, teeny tiny. I could have whipped his ass. I know I could have, but we squared up, and he peed on his face. I'm like,
I started running.
I'm like, my God, I can't fight this guy. He's insane. All
Well,
right.
but if you think about it, though, let's go back though and think about this for a second. So, football players a lot of times before they go out on the field, they'll do like they'll hit the ammonia from the smelling salts.
Right.
Well, pee's got ammonia in it. So maybe that jacks them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're smelling their own ammonia, and all of a sudden, like whoa! It's like one of them
Maybe
little.
we should try it.
I think so.
And the thing about it is, man, I could
just
never
gotta get past that first part
never
about peeing
accept.
on my face.
I could never really be okay with a guy with somebody else peeing on my face. But I would pee on my face.
Yeah, but can you? I guess you could get to it. I've never tried.
I mean, if you took it,
I have to try
you'd
now.
have to really bend over. Then you'd have to valve up, like you say, you had to pee
Like
real
post
bad.
pump or something?
Really, really valve
Like
it
your
up.
thumb on the edge of the hose.
Yeah, like really,
Jesus.
edge of the hose it, and then let it go, and and then
Try
keep
it
your
out.
mouth. I would say keep your mouth shut too, and keep your eyes closed.
Yeah, you need more prostate medicine.
So, yes, Seth, our goats do pee on themselves.
Wow.
Can't wait to try.
Now, so Seth is Aaron Jones. Who's Rhett?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think Rhett's that redheaded senator we had that keeps getting hurt. Jensen.
Why is he? Why he isn't getting hurt?
He's a stud though. He's still a
Yeah.
stud. He has a bad knee. Right? Hopefully he comes back.
And he
next year.
misses some games too, just like Rhett. Gets his card towed, which would be considered missing a game, right?
Yeah, he missed 2 full seasons.
In the football world, if we were a football team and a guy doesn't make it to the game, well, that's the same as he got his car towed and he couldn't make it to work. So that's the same as being injured. So Jensen's often injured, but when he does play, he's super good.
He's a
is
stud.
he not?
He's a stud.
Is he going to play next year?
I hope he's not done. You think he's done?
He doesn't think he's done, but I think the NFL thinks he's done.
Well, then hold on, Rhett. That's not you. You don't think that you're done, do you? I mean, you got a ton of left in your tank.
I'd like to think so.
We can't make you Jensen, who's on his last leg.
Okay, then he's like the other.
Move me over
redhead
one
they
spot. I'll be the
signed.
right guard, Cody Malk. They look the
Cody,
same.
yes.
Long red
All right,
hair.
All right, so Cody who?
I'll take
Malk.
that. He's good.
Malk? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's our team.
He's a crowd favorite.
And Macho wants to be a bodybuilder. So, I mean, okay, Macho, what bodybuilder would you want to be if you could be a bodybuilder?
Nick Walker.
Nick?
Yeah, everyone's got a poster of Nick Walker on the wall.
I don't even know who Nick Walker is.
No one does.
So here's our team. Here's our football team. Our radio show football team.
Do we name Jay?
Oh, yeah. We got to put Jay in there, too.
Babyface is pretty
Trask.
much just.
Yeah, now see, Lummy, I'm getting ready to go into commercials.
Sorry.
Go to the high spot, Willie. Try to be responsible to be on time. Gonna go through these set of names, and then boom, and now you're throwing me two different parameters.
I didn't want Babyface bitching.
You know what? I can't find anybody.
He's like a special teams
I
coach.
sent a video of Nick Walker to educate Dan.
Okay. But I don't know of anybody in the NFL that's a pussy that, like is afraid of, everything. Right?
Yeah.
we could say he was Don Mikowski because
Said it had to be a current player.
Yeah, it has to be a curtain player. So I think the last thing you sent me, Lummy, might have been a Dan Newland spot. That's the last thing I got from you.
Yeah.
I thought you were going. Oh, I thought you said you sent me a Nick Walker deal.
No, that was Macho Man.
Oh, Macho Man sent me a Nick Walker deal. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Macho Man sent. Is this his Nick? Is this what's this guy's name?
Nick Walker.
Nick Walker. This is who Macho Man wants to be in life. Here we go. Walker Nation.
Oh, okay.
The torture gym.
Little Spanish guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Let's see how big.
Is he pretty short?
Macho Man pries his pants down right now. Did he take his shirt off? I mean, do we get to see anything?
Yeah, fast forward. I didn't even see this part.
You know,
Oh
I don't
my
like
God.
to do really for anything anymore, anything less than 10 reps. You know, some people
Has he ever won Mr.
8
Olympia?
reps, this,
He came in second.
I think anything 10 and
After
above.
Bumstead or?
Yeah.
A little bit. Come on now.
Yeah, it's huge.
Jesus. Tank. My God.
That's
Holy God.
Does that really do it for you, Macho Man? Like, is that like,
We're about the same height, so it's goals.
Oh, I see.
Damn, he's big.
Damn, it's a tricep. Look how short
Look at his shoulder. Look at his delt. It's running away.
Wow.
It's running away.
Where's he from?
Mars.
He actually just moved to the Tampa area.
Mars. No, did he really just move to the Tampa area?
Yeah, he works at some elite gym around here.
What if I gave him when I get my gym situated? I tell him he can work out in my gym.
Let's get it done.
Where's he work out at?
I can't remember the name, but there's some elite gym that you have to pay and you have to have a pro card to work out in.
Oh, dang.
North Tampa.
So
they're all like that. Look
so you have to have an actual pro card to even. They're not letting Janet from Carrollwood that wants to come and do the yoga class at 6.
You have to have the what? IFBB pro card?
Yes.
I got to go into words, and it's very sad because I know this woman. I know this woman well. But Jessie Jane, who probably, Lummy, I might have had Jessie Jane in the studio.
Yes, you did.
More than any other. But
Really?
probably next to, maybe Janessa, I might have had, and Akira. Now, did you know that Jessie Jane was the first person, her and her husband at that time named Travis, were the ones that got Akira into porn? Akira's very first scene was with Jessie Jane and her husband Travis.
Oh, wow.
That was her very first scene. Jessie Jane, I think, and Travis divorced, I don't know how long ago.
I think 12.
Remember she was doing that tequila, Jessie Jane tequila for a while, remember? Yeah. Look how hot she looks there. Now,
How old's that picture?
I was such good friends with her that I actually did an awards presentation. Let me get our Facebook here. That I did an awards the Avian, is it the Avian 2007?
Yes.
Yes,
in your spacesuit.
Yeah.
In my spacesuit, yes. And it was we presented the best anal scene of the year.
That's awesome.
Award.
What a prestigious award.
Do you remember who won?
No, I do. No, I'm sorry, I do not.
Okay, I'll look it up later.
Whoever won really
lost.
lost.
But supposedly Jessie Jane died. She lived in Oklahoma with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend died. Her boyfriend's name's, I think, Brett Husselman or Husselmiller or something like that. They found them
in Oklahoma,
and they live in Oklahoma. I think she lived in Pennsylvania with Travis, but she lived in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, wherever that is.
And they found him and her boyfriend and him together in what looks like to be a fentanyl.
It was fentanyl.
Well, they
probably
they alluded to that.
The thing is that people are dying of fentanyl, not knowing that they're taking it. It's that mystery that someone gives you a pill that you don't really know what happened, where it came from. You may be doing coke, you may be doing something else, and all of a sudden there's a little fentanyl in there, and then all of a sudden you're dead. And that's one of the real risks right now of people with just taking random drugs from random people, because you have no idea.
I get all my drugs. I get all my drugs straight from the pharmacist.
And people, also have the ability now to check drugs for fentanyl.
How?
There's
Fentanyl
fentanyl
testing
testing.
strips?
There's fentanyl testing.
Do you want to buy
strips.
some on Amazon?
No,
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
dabble in anything that would have fentanyl.
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
So I recommend using that so you don't accidentally do something like this.
I want
It's
to
a
be
tragedy.
the brand. Exactly.
So what is part of the Jessie Jane brand? Because there are a lot of beautiful girls out there. A lot of them have blonde hair, just like you.
Yeah.
They've got big breasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What differentiates you from the rest?
I think that I'm more personable. I love meeting my fans. I know that my fans make me who I am, and I interact with them.
That's me. It's me. Which is why Jane is mobbed at events like this. The adult entertainment.
So anyway, Rhett is currently working on a Jessie Jane deal for when we had her in.
Yep. Her first appearance in.
Yeah, her very first appearance in. So thank you for doing that. Am I behind or am I what am
If
I?
you break now, we're pretty much almost caught up.
Almost caught up?
Yep.
We break now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Because I wanted to have a little pep talk with everybody.
Sounds good.
And then talk about this new this girl who got a designer vaginal. I don't know how much longer Dan's going to be with me, so I wanted to touch this next story
Okay,
as well.
yes. Make a comment on it.
I got a designer vagina surgery after my ex said it was the worst he'd ever seen, and now sex is agonizing.
Oh, God.
Shame.
Yeah.
Throw me a phone, bitch. Once again, he's showing off why he received a doctorate in spin execution and control.
Yes. How much?
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Now she's graduated with honors.
Hooters. Let's see what she looked like when she was young. Uh-oh, they're gonna show me a bunch of porns. Porns. I don't even know if that's her. Oh, Jesus. Let's see what her net worth was. Net worth. Said she was worth $500,000 at the time of 50. What was it worth, please? Oh my word.
Terry. I missed that. I'm laughing because Kurt Martin says on a clear throat again. Just keep clearing
I
throat.
can't help it.
Making me want to do it now. Good morning, sister girl. It's funny. It's funny because you keep clearing your throat.
Now that I'm aware of it, I'm going to want to do it more.
Yes, CC, everybody will follow. Did I betray for the second time? I did not. Look. Spencer. CC Bunny. It's the dark match. It's the greener. Dark match Steve. Matt, Hat, Mike Hat. What's up? Play redneck.
Oh, that sucks.
I emailed you something to IM me.
Okay.
And it's to Devo. Yeah, that made me funny. Dr. Spencer, area control.
Revolution. Oh, your ears are in for some severe blunt force trauma. Bubba the Love Sponge. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Somewhat equipment related. You like your Morpheus. You have machines, the Diva, and all this kind of things. Not every doctor is equipped with vaginal.
You see the external part, and so both components are for different purposes and are done different ways. The internal rejuvenation is done with some sort of laser usually,
And there are a lot of
the
doctors may
Diva.
not have that.
Correct.
Now, every doctor can whittle down the labia with a scalpel the best that they can, or however or however you do it. But not every one of them has the added prong, if you will, in vaginal rejuve, and the machine that you use is a very expensive machine, and not all doctors have that. Maybe this woman just had a guy straight with a razor knife. That's all she had.
Little Wilbur's afterbirth, $300. Super chat.
That's awesome. Thank you,
God
Lil
bless.
Wilbur.
Thank you.
Love you.
I don't look right down there. So I sought to get a labiaplasty.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You want to talk about labiaplasty?
Yeah. Break it down.
Talk about it.
Or do you
Break
want
it
to talk
down.
about it now? You want her to keep going for a second?
No, let her keep going, and then you tell me when you'd like to chime in, okay?
A friend of mine over 20 odd years ago said that it was the worst vagina he'd ever seen. I look at various surgeons. At the time I wasn't really working, so money was quite tight. So
and I got to be honest with you, I'm not a woman. There's only one in the room, and I think it would be probably fairly traumatic if you're with a guy and he had, intimate knowledge of the inner workings of your vagina and how it looked, and he reports back to you that your vagina is the worst he's ever seen. I got to think that's
yeah, that's a super bummer.
I got to think that's like, you're losing
You don't
sleep
think she
over
knew
it.
ahead of time, maybe?
Yeah. There has been a couple girls over my 10 year of being a coxman that I have been seeing a girl that was sponsored by Arby's or by Steakum. The Steakum,
Right.
If you get a Arby's roast beef just all hanging out there, that's just the worst.
Did you say anything?
No, of course not.
the price was a factor in my decision too. This particular doctor I had found was charging $3,500 odd. I book a time in with him, and
Dan, is that about
that's a middle of the road price.
It's also Aussie dollars, so.
All right, so
yeah, that's
looking back,
that's probably $4,000 US. I don't know,
something like that.
back now, there were a lot of red flags. He clamps my labia minora on either side. I don't feel any pain, but I can feel tugging.
Do you clamp?
Nope.
That's not how you do it.
And what I did feel was him pulling my labia minora and clamping. Proceeds to cut the skin off. I can't explain the pain.
Dan, at this
Wait,
point,
why is she awake? You're awake during labiaplasty?
probably just a local.
Not normally for that kind of invasive
Dan,
surgery.
They
is it,
did
though?
local with her.
Dude, no, you don't, did you? If you're doing an extensive external rejuvenation.
Okay, well, it depends. I've done them in the operating room and I've done them in the office.
Right. So
It
you've
can
done
be done under
a
local.
local.
It can be done under local because it's a very small area. It's easy to numb it up. There's two major techniques that are completely different of how to take care of a large labia, and that's the labia minora, the thinner internal lips that sometimes hang out a little bit, and what you were calling,
Arby's roast beef.
what we were calling a prominent vagina.
Oh.
So there's the amputation technique where they put a clamp on it, and they cut across that and then cauterize. I don't like that technique for several reasons. Number one, it seems barbaric. Number two, it creates a long potential area of discomfort. So before I even read this in a book, I developed my own labiaplasty, which has now since been published as the preferred technique.
Does it give credit to you for?
No, because I didn't publish it. I just figured it out because it made sense, and now it's the published preferred way to do it. It's called
Should have private labeled it when you could.
Yeah, I know, but you're not. Plastic surgeons can be disboarded and taken out of society if you try to patent the operation. That's considered an evil thing to try to do.
Okay.
So I decided that the wedge technique was superior because it didn't leave a free edge. It was going to have to scar in and become painful. Plus, the wedge technique not only takes care of the excess you see sticking out, but also takes care of the excess perpendicular to that.
Now,
because some people have just too much labia.
Now, when you do something like this where a woman has an extreme amount of labia, will you first, recommend that she does X amount of internal office, visits, or
They're
no?
independent. They're independent of each other. The inside and the outside are two completely different animals. Maybe I shouldn't have used the word animal.
No, it's fine. That's fine. What I'm saying is, you can do one without the other.
Yes.
Okay.
So the wedge can be extended and be called a double wedge with a Z-plasty, and that's when you take care of someone that has too much clitoral hood skin. And that works really, really, really well. It doesn't leave a distorted vagina. It leaves a normal, not normal, but a typical looking vagina.
Right.
They're all normal. All the vaginas are normal. Just the variations.
When you do that procedure, your vagina now kind of looks like your girlfriend's vagina, whereas before it looks like a big cobra's hood or something like that.
Right, and some people,
Cobra hood.
And I think
I was this bitch. She had a big cobra hood on her, man. It's coming right at me.
And so the problem is, I don't think that excess labia in general is a bad thing. A big problem that a lot of women have is asymmetrical labia, where one is big and then one's really big. And so trying to get them to match makes sense because people don't like asymmetry.
The burning of my labia was bearable. I'm a very, very strong person when it comes to pain.
Yeah, and I don't use a lot of
Extremely
cautery here because the thermal damage is a problem. And if
Right.
it doesn't heal, you really only have one shot at healing with these things. Because if this breaks, if you put it together and it doesn't heal right, then the vagina is going to be distorted.
Right,
And I've
because
seen
you
botched
only
vaginas.
have one chance of cauterization.
Right.
Right. Usually,
one chance of just reconstruction, really.
Right. Well, but once you cauterize something, if it doesn't take, or you have complications in the cauterization, usually
scar.
You're done.
Yeah, it's a
I
problem.
mean, you got to cut out. You got to cut and run at that one, right?
Mike Durham, $99.99 super chat for Seth's hood.
Seth's hood.
But this was beyond.
All right.
So go to a doctor that does this on a regular basis, is comfortable doing it, and isn't going to just amputate your labia. It's like the Coming to America haircut. It's got to be a little bit more sophisticated than that.
Here is, before I go into words, here's what my personal situation that I'm dealing with right now. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. Did you send it, Lummy?
Yes, I did.
All right. It's let me see. It's showing.
You just got to click on it and it goes, yeah.
All right. So hold on. Yeah.
Oh, I do know about this.
Of course you do. You're the nosiest bitch in the world. You weren't gonna. Were you going to let me know about it? No, you weren't. You weren't.
Oh.
And that's what the problem is. So, my son, see on it that in it, what your reaction is exactly what I'm struggling with right now. And so, my son and I, and Dan, you can participate because you're my boyfriend, and Jay, you can participate because you have children and kind of my boyfriend, and anybody who's got kids can participate in this. Or anybody who truly knows me or knows the situation. But so 2 years ago, my son, who was living with me at the time, and who I was trying to, teach how to do video editing, I was trying to kind of fold him into my business and try to get him to be a video editor. Just, I was trying to.
Yeah, audio, everything. Yep. Trying
to give him a job. Because he's not a college kid, dude. He's not. Tyler's not a college kid. Some people are. I wasn't a college kid. I thought I faked like I was, but I could care less about being there. That's just some people are, and I was able to make my way. When I left my mom and dad's house at 18, I never came back. And I never asked for money, ever. I just figured it out on myself. Whether it was at one summer when I was in Terre Haute, I fried chicken for Indian Acres Chicken Catering. So I would go, after, like on the weekends, it was a weekend only job because, in Terre Haute, they're not catering, birthday parties on Wednesday. It was a Friday or a Saturday deal, and I fried chicken for, 10 hours on Fridays and Saturdays. And that would get me like, I'd get like $100. That'd give me like $100 cash, and then I could make that work. So, but I always had a relationship with my parents. And for any of you, there's got to be an extreme amount of people right now, Bubba Army, that are listening to my show that for some reason, way, shape, or form, you and either your mom or your dad or one of your siblings or one of your children are not talking to you. It's statistically, almost every family has some type of strife.
Of course.
Like some type, like even your family on, like, you aren't so chatty with your sister.
No.
Right.
And my sister's relationship has been strained with both my parents. So,
right. And so
every family has their issues.
Tyler, started dating this girl. She, in my opinion, was a good girl, but I could see all along that she's very, very, very dominating. And that she would just absolutely dominate him and just, she called the shots. He was like a little lap dog. And I let it be known. I think that this isn't healthy for you. And long story short, 2 Marches ago, his girlfriend convinced him to walk away from my family. And when I say my family, that's not only me, but it's my sister and my mom. Now, my mom only has one grandchild. Like, my mom only has one grandchild, him. She loves him. Like, of course. She loves him. Tara loves him. Of course, I love him. And do you know how hard it is? So I'm instantaneously blocked on every aspect. I can't text him. I can't email him. I can't look at his Instagram. I can't look at his Facebook. I can't look at his if he's got a Twitter account. I cannot look at any of his stuff. I have zero idea what's happening in my son's life. Now, my son has continued to race without me using the connections that I'd established, but my son's a really good racer. And I think we all would agree that that is probably one of the most riskiest, dangerous sports in general.
For sure.
In general.
100% of any sport.
Like of any sport in the world.
The risk
and
tolerance
sprint car racing is right up there. I mean, you got
open wheel highest of all.
You got Dan and Jay, the lawyer racers at Sebring that have gentleman rules and they put their hands up and and then you got these guys that are in these type of races.
Right.
So
way more dangerous.
Way more dangerous.
I do have some friends that do follow him. He hasn't blocked. I guess she hasn't blocked. And so I do get reports, although a little bit late. I get reports from time to time. And so this morning, I'm doing my show, and I knew that he raced last night, but I don't have any way to, I just knew that he had a race last night. That's it. And I guess he got in a pretty bad wreck. Tyler got in it was a pretty, I wouldn't say catastrophic, but it was a pretty violent wreck. Well, I don't know. So can you imagine not having a relationship with your son, the son that you basically just did everything in your possible power to, develop him into a good race car driver, one that can compete on the highest level like he is, only to have been torn away, a girl what kind of dude lets a chick tell him what type of relationship he's going to have with his dad? And most girls, most wives, most girlfriends don't usually jive with their boyfriend's dad.
No.
We come from different cultures. I'm 57 years old. You're 17. We are completely different. But out of respect, if you had any, you would support your I guess they're fiancé now, aren't they? They're engaged. You would support your fiancé having a healthy relationship with a father that maybe at times in your world may seem impossible, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a pretty damn good dad. Strict at times, something you're not used to.
Amazing.
But I've sacrificed. I have put
my God, the road trips, the amount of money you spent on racing, the amount of time. I mean, just personal time with your kid, teaching them not just how to race, but how to do mechanics, how to work on tires, how to work on. I mean, you've done everything for many, many years. It's hard to explain how many hours that takes.
So last night he gets into a wreck. I guess they say that he's okay. But this is what I wake up to this morning, and it just makes me sad in the fact that I can't be part of this kid's life when I have done so much and tried so hard, and the only thing I'm guilty of is your girlfriend not liking me. That's it. She hates me.
It crossed the line last night, Bubba. If you want to step away for petty reasons or whatever because you're strict or you don't jive, but when your son's hurt and nobody calls you, nobody reaches out, that crosses a line. Like when something like that happens, you wipe out all the family drama and you become a family and you become a human being. And I just think I feel horrible. I just think what happened last night with him even getting in a crash, somebody should have reached out to you.
Yeah, Bubba, I co-sign with Seth on this.
Agreed.
And although, I don't want to, be disrespectful, I think all the people around him right now are pieces of shiz, and they are really manipulating him, and it's sinful, it's disgusting, and Tyler should have enough of a testicle himself to come to the realization that he would not be there but for what you've done to help him get there, and he's just an unappreciative, immature little D right now. And it's really offensive to me that he and his girlfriend and their family and everyone has done this to you, because it's such BS, and they should be ashamed of themselves, and God will judge them for this.
Every young man needs a father in their life. Fathers who are flawed. Fathers, there's no perfect man. We deitize my dad like he was a perfect man. My dad was flawed. Your dad was flawed. You're flawed. I'm flawed. Who cares? The relationship between a son and a father should be unbreakable. We had family members. My grandfather's brothers didn't speak to each other for 50 years over a woman.
Oh.
And so my brother, Stephen, when we were very young children, he had this wisdom about him, and he said to Danny and to me, we will never let a woman come between the brothers. And so we've never let our wives or our girlfriend or anything, a girl specifically, this exact thing, because we watched two men work together and not speak to each other for 50 years. And it was heartbreaking.
And the thing about it is, you know, as much as I'm blocked and blackballed and I have no idea what's happening in my and listen, I don't know if they've blocked my email, but I seem to get a delivery notice. I do email him like once every couple weeks, and I keep them all. I'm like, you know, how much longer does this have to go? Don't you understand how much I love you? I mean, please let me and my family back into your lives. This you're killing Nana, which is my mom. My mom is just beside herself about this. It's her only grandchild, Tara. It's her only, you know, nephew.
And also, like, you know, losing your stepdad.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he missed we lost my stepfather a year ago.
Right.
He wasn't there for that.
His only grandfather. It was his only grandfather.
It's just selfish. It's selfish. It's immature. It's it's
and so I got to wake up to this, and then try to have people that, and then see, Anna, you knew this before I did.
I don't know if I knew it. I didn't seek it out. Someone reached out to me and was like, "Does Bubba know about this?" And I just went, "I don't know."
I know. So
Bubba, it would be hard to present something like that to you because you know how sensitive it is.
Yeah, I don't know
You know
what the
I mean?
move
It's
is.
like I don't know if I got that.
But what I'm saying is, like, the rest of the world is allowed to have a relationship with my son and updates on how he's doing, and if he gets into somewhat of a what looks to be a bad crash, that he's okay, and then he went to the hospital and got checked out, and like he's okay, like he's not. I mean, this could. I'm not trying to get him. This could very well have racing people die.
Yeah.
What if right now something like, do I get that phone call?
Well, you know, an okay means he didn't die. That doesn't mean he doesn't have a neck or a back injury or that he's got something else going on. You know how accidents happen.
Does it mean Jay can't sue the fence manufacturer?
Seatbelt, roll cage.
Yeah, I mean,
something shot company.
Jay's like, let me get a hold of that wrecked car. I'll write a right on down, man. Tubing, shock mounts, everything.
Everything. Something looks like it failed.
So I'm glad somebody made it funny, because I was just getting ready to cry, and it's just like I
love you, Bubba. I'm sorry you're going through this, man.
And it's like, you know, if I had done something that was a deal breaker in having a father-son relationship, like, you know, molestation or no, I mean something that's a real, like, why you don't, like, listen, I am not having a relationship with my dad because he touched me. You know, like there's some things that fathers can do to their sons, that when their sons become adults to get the hell out of it, like, I am never talking to my dad the rest of my life again. He is a piece of shiz.
Well, that I understand.
And what he did to my mom, and you know how he, but I've not done any of that.
But you were just trying, you know, the blow up, the definitive blow up was you trying to prevent him from blowing up his last and final chance of having a professional career in racing.
Correct.
And because he was such a dumbass, immature piece of shiz, he couldn't get past his own immaturity and his own blinders that his disgusting girlfriend put on him,
now fiance,
and decided to side with trash instead of success, decided to go with sin instead of family. It's disgusting. And Tyler, grow up.
Anyway, I guess
I love Uncle Dan, by the way.
Bubba, you're hot.
Bubba-isms are the best thing in the world, man.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
Bubba the Love Sponge. We love you, Bubba.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
That's how he talked to little Danny since he was 11.
Oh, man. Sorry, Sponjo.
Do you remember Steve telling us?
No, it's all right. We're good. We're good. Buddy.
With Jake? Oh, I know. Do you remember him telling us that it was the exact same thing?
I know the story.
I know.
I know the story.
Yeah.
I was older than Steven.
I know.
Well, I'm the youngest one. I'm the one that remembers it. Shit.
Bubba, Head PE was is going to be on Fox, I think, this weekend. Fox News. They're in the news because their tour bus got jumped in the tour bus and their tour manager beat the shit out of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sent you a article. I guess it's starting to make a little traction in news.
You sent me an IM?
Yeah.
Let me find it.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that. I didn't either. That's also wasn't in time. Same thing. That's killer. And then. What we can do for repeat clients to get a raise for Yeti. I'm not going to help in the backside. And we can like opening toward opening towards my cock. Nice, huh?
So we got here, we got 5. So, okay,
Well,
we're
out.
we're good.
I'm going to let Jake
I'm gonna get super beats done.
Okay.
I'm gonna let them do
Oh,
that
is it?
now. Yeah.
Dr. Dan.
All right. Guys,
Bye,
have a good
Dan.
day. See you, Bubba. Have a good week. If you need anything while you're out of town, let me know, okay?
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna be up there for 8 days.
Okay. Enjoy.
You're leaving today?
Yeah. Why?
Oh, I didn't know if you were just getting right out of here.
I am.
Okay.
Is that a problem?
No, not at all.
Fucking watchdog, motherfucker.
Good morning, Lumlo.
Good morning, Jerry.
How are you, my friend?
Good, how are you? Lingar, 15
well.
months.
Loving the Yeti and Grouper Lips gave me where it's got the Diaco long ones that Lewis has in the back. Going to the mic hawk. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I love it. I'll show it to Pity for the real side.
You got that yesterday from it?
He brought it to me today.
He's the sweetest.
He is the sweetest. Because I want to do some Diaco Law ones for repeat customers, you know, and have I could give him a nice little packet of swag. And then, so for me, he just decided he'd give me that, which is, remember it was a Rolling Stones concert? So.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I told him that you had it still on your phone. And I told my son that. He thought it was the funniest thing. He showed it to me one day with one of his 17-year-old buddies that came in. They're like, look at this. And I'm like, oh, God. It's
It
just a
lives
Mike Hawk
on.
thing on it.
Yeah, no, I have. I certainly have it in my phone. It's one of my favorite clips.
Have you ever heard of the search engine Yandex?
Yandex?
Yandex.
Who?
Have you ever heard of the search engine Yandex?
I like DuckDuckGo. I've been using that forever.
No, Nick, RGB.
Morning, the Frog Dash Cam. Morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Cooper Lips and Nick. I appreciate it. Makes me laugh. Always makes Anna laugh. What's up, my cat? Glenn Longnecker. What up, guys?
Are you doing Gasparilla stuff tomorrow?
You know, that's like, you know, not much. My kid's gonna do some, so I'll be paying attention more to what
Can you
he's doing.
see anything?
Oh yeah. I could use a golf cart and go around the island and see all of it, like the whole invasion. I can basically follow it in. There's a street that comes in.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I've done that for years, but this year I don't think I'll do any of
You have
that.
to brace the crowds.
Yeah. What up, Mike Thurman, Rob Green 3, Plummel's divorce lawyer, JHM 3. Morning, morning, morning. What up, guys? Permagrom, right back at you, buddy. Grouper Lips, you're the man. Thank you so much. You gave me a hilarious laugh, and you gave Anna even a better one. 2024, my cock tour. Love it. Sister Girl Tease, what's up? Thanks again for that Christmas gift. Unnecessary, but so appreciated. Oh, it's good snow up there, Dan Wiz. Gary Cantrell, XXL Gaming. How you guys all doing? Camper Scott. The Tim Anglin. Sicilian Redneck. How you doing, buddy?
We got a lot to do. Let's go.
To all the FTEs out there, he salutes you. He salutes you.
Loving it.
And hopes you don't get herpes from a lot lizard.
Something's wrong with me.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
February, you know this because you've heard it earlier today, and you love Super Beats like I do. So you know that February is Heart Health Month in the United States, and more than half of the population would benefit from some type of blood pressure support. Super Beat Heart Chews are the #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended way to support healthy blood pressure, and they even promote heart-healthy energy without the stimulants. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Super Beets are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than just a healthy lifestyle alone. 40,000 5-star reviews and counting. We were at 30,000 just a few months ago. Super Beet Heart Chews support healthy circulation so that you get not only the blood support that you're looking for, but you also get productive, heart-healthy energy without the crash. Support your heart health with Super Beet Heart Chews right now. Get a free month supply of Super Beet Heart Chews. All of the bundles are included, and a free full-size bag of
turmeric.
Lummy, are you a little bit off today?
Yeah, sorry, I was answering. Sorry.
You know that when I'm on Super Beets, I'm gonna throw it over to you. You know that.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
Are you just being stupid?
Yes, I am. I need a bag of turmeric.
Valued at $25. You can start and stop this process by going to BubbaLovesBeats.com. Get this exclusive offer where, Lummy?
BubbaLovesBeats.com.
Buffoon.
Sorry.
So here's what's going to happen, and I just want to, because I can already see the ball rolling. But Tyler's, everybody Dan's opinion and monologue as to what is happening to me with regards to my relationship with my son and the ins and outs and the players involved and the people involved. He's 100% correct. He's 100% unfiltered, but it'll 100% be after they read it and it gets circulated throughout their deal. I am the asshole or the bad guy that talked about this situation on the radio. They're not at fault for keeping my son from me, from brainwashing him, for letting him. No, I'm the bad guy because I should just keep my mouth shut. I'm just supposed to sit here and keep my mouth shut. Would you keep your Lummy if Walker was 22 years old and for the last 2 years of his life he has told you and Ashley to go pack sand and you have no idea. You know what? I don't even know where my son lays his head to sleep every night. I don't know.
Kidding.
I do not know where he lives. I do not know what kind of car he's got. I do not know where he works. I do not know anything. I'm not privy. I've been blocked out of this kid's life. I have no idea on any of that. I have no idea that when he flips 3 or 4 times and lands into the fence last night with an 850 horsepower sprint car, I have no idea. You know
what today we'd be doing? Danny would be getting him to every doctor we know, front of the line, red carpet, making sure he was okay. Every single part of his body was okay. This hurts me so bad for you, Bubba, because if this happened to me with Trey after I put all that time in, I wouldn't even, all I can say is I agree with Dan. I can't say it any better or more passionately, and I don't want to, but that is the most heartbreaking situation where you literally did nothing but love him too hard in a way where you said, maybe this girl's not right for you when she's blowing up in the middle of an opportunity where literally the person who may sponsor you can hear this fight going on, speaking to Erica in a way where no adult should be spoken to. And then to it's like, what do they do in Scientology where you're no longer part of the family? They disassociate. No, they disassociate.
Karen McDougal said they kill her.
They disassociate. It's like there's a disassociation.
Karen McPherson.
It's almost like Scientology.
Yeah.
It's like he's so brainwashed,
and
that
so
he doesn't understand any of it anymore.
And like, if any father had a radio show like me, or had this platform to talk about your, we talk about all types of things in our lives, and we also talk about news, and we talk about everything. But if there was anybody in my shoes whose son had left and deserted him for 2 years, and you had no idea, you would use this opportunity and this tool. If there's all I am is just trying to reach out to him to let him know that I love him, that I want to have a relationship with him, and can we get over this? Can we stop this nonsense? Now, me even talking about it will be like, that puts me, here's the thing. Life isn't fair. And if Tyler's girlfriend had the platform that I do, you don't think that she would be pleading her case on this side of the deal?
Oh, yeah.
Of course she would. I mean, anybody would. I mean, the most sacred thing that a man, or that a person, the most sacred commodity is a child. That is your most sacred commodity in life, is a child. And is that's the most precious gift of life that you get, some people get, and like, Anna, you probably may never have a child.
Probably not.
Rhett, God, I don't know if you're gonna quite find
that's true
the right mixture that you like.
What?
But
what the hell does that mean?
JHM3 999 super chat.
But to be given a daughter like Seth, and to be given a son and a daughter like Jay, to be given a son like Lummy, to be given to have a son like me, and in the bond's even greater when it's a father-son situation. Doesn't mean that Seth loves his daughter any less. It's just that it's a different bond between a boy and a man. It's your dad is your dad, and he shows you dad stuff, and well, unless you're Seth, and then Seth says his pa didn't teach him that stuff.
My daughter identifies as my son. I just wanted to let you know that.
That's great.
Awesome.
That works out well.
That actually is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Your daughter will probably end up being tougher than you are.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, listen, I apologize to those that think that I'm, trying to be a martyr here. I'm not a martyr. I'm not perfect. I'm sure that I've done some stupid stuff that really upset my son that probably weren't so fatherly like. I'm sure that it's kind of tough to be my son and people maybe make fun of your dad and the things that your dad's gotten himself into. But that being said, outside of some of my stupid public, because I'm a public figure, and there comes a lot with that as well. Tyler has benefited from my celebrity and my public figure more than it's hurt him. I promise you that.
Yeah, a picture just popped up behind you with him and Tony Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah. Oh, that one.
And so,
do you feel like you want to make like a last ditch effort, like show up to the track with Tara and your mom, like what? I mean, do an intervention.
I think that would be
make it worse,
horrible.
Maybe.
How about a simple unblocking and reaching out and say, "I love you, Dad."
I do
would
that.
Be okay.
I do that. No, he won't.
Right? I mean, that's what what the big ask would be. How about you unblock your father? How about you let your father tell you he loves you?
How about just you know what? No. How about even keeping it off social and just getting a hold of me privately?
That's what I'm not talking social. Unblock your cell phone.
Yeah, and just say, "Hey, Dad, I love you.
I'm okay."
Yeah.
Somebody could have relayed word, Bubba. I mean, somebody could have let you know about somebody in his circle right now.
Yeah, it's like her parents are against me. His real mom's against me. Like, it's so easy to jump on Bubba's the bad guy, bandwagon based on my past indiscrepancies. But is that really how I should be judged as Tyler Clem's dad?
She's like Meghan Markle. Actually, she alienates him from everybody.
And it's like, you wouldn't, and I'm not trying to be a martyr here, but you wouldn't even be playing the game of racing that you're in the level that you're at. Don't forget, he was the youngest kid in the history of the world to drive a 360 sprint car at 11.
Yeah,
I bought Bubba Raceway Park so that when he was 10, he could race with the big guys, because otherwise 10-year-olds can't go to big tracks because of insurance reasons. But because Tom Bean and I wouldn't sue ourselves if something happened to Tyler, you know what I'm saying?
You would if you could, Bubba.
You have track insurance. You have track insurance, and then you have waivers. And Tyler, for however many years, had a waiver. And I owned the place. So I bought the track when I was doing good financially so that my son could be the youngest person to be able to race with the big boys. And by 11 or 12, he was beating grown men. Well on his way to probably being a career as a race car driver. That was our goal, for him to make. Listen, you don't have to race NASCAR or F1 or Indy. That you could, if you have a full-time ride for, like, let's say that you're Hudson O'Neal, who drives the rocket car in the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series. Hudson is probably made $300,000 last year.
Wow.
And you know what? You can carve out a really good living being a really good dirt race car driver. You can.
You do that for 25 years, and also everything that guy gets is for free. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything's comp for that dude. So that $300,000 is like take home cheese.
If you're really, really good enough, then you get one of these big time owners to put you in their car, and then you get it ranges anywhere between 20 and 45% of the winnings of the car. That's kind of the deal. I know the ins and outs. So, there's guys that are on 42 to 45% rides, but they literally just have to show up and drive the car. And there's some guys on 25, and Tyler, if he were to get a big time ride like with Lucas or World Outlaw, sprint cars, he'd probably, because he hasn't proven himself yet, if that window has not closed, would probably be a 25% guy for the first year. And then, as you build your resume and win some big races, then the 25% guy becomes a 35% guy, becomes a 45% guy. And that's about as much as it gets. That's about the high end of the deal. But let's say that you win the Eldora Million and you're getting 45, you have 450,000 right there.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys can make a living. I had Tyler set up with a Chili Bowl Keith Kuntz backed ride. Just to give you a brief little, like what Jay was talking about as far as the ins and outs as to why we're fighting to begin with. And I was grading the track, and Tyler and his girlfriend, I'd been talking to Keith all week about getting a Chili Bowl ride for Tyler. Keith was all for it. He was like, yeah, we got it. So, Tyler, because he's like, I know Tyler will do well at the Chili Bowl. There's guys that go, there's this very prestigious race for USAC midgets. It's called the Chili Bowl. It's a very, very, very prestigious race. If you could win that or even do well with that, chances are you're going to get a ride. There's some sprint car guy in Indiana that wants to give you a ride. And then getting a ride goes back to what we were talking about as far as being a paid driver. Show up and get 30% of the car. And I think that had Tyler done well in the Keith Kuntz-backed Chili Bowl car that I had secured for him, that could have maybe opened up some avenues far better than this local schmokel stuff that he's doing now. I mean, that's all he's doing is some local schmokel stuff. That's it. So I got Keith Kuntz's hauler is right by my camper, and Keith Kuntz, Erica, God bless her little soul, the Merch Crick, she's cleaning toilets.
Nice.
I mean, she does everything at the track. She's cleaning the ladies' toilets in the pits, and Keith Kuntz has her number because I let him use my truck for a couple days, and she dropped it off to him. So he texts or calls Erica and says, hey, you need to get over here. These two kids are carrying on, and Tyler's crying at the picnic table. So she goes over there. She calls me, and I'm like, tell them to stop it, to take it inside and to stop it. And not only are they raising a bunch of ruckus here in the pits, but this is my business. Like, this is my business.
And he's getting ready to race. You don't have your girl in your head minutes before you go race.
Right, and he's getting ready to go. He's racing open wheel modifieds against Kenny Wallace and Kenny Schrader and David Rudiman and Strickler. Like, he's got, he's
It's like
really
being in the minors and having a major league scout there going, let's see if this kid can hit. And then have your girlfriend screw with you like half an hour before you go on.
Yeah.
So I go up there. So she tells Erica, F you. You don't know us. You don't know how we fight. It's none of your effing business. Like, just really being disrespectful. Well, then I come up. Now the car, our open wheel modified Lummy, is in the tech shed. That's where he's working on it at.
Yeah.
So they graduate from the picnic table over to working on the car. Well, I go up and I go up, get off the tractor. I said to Aislinn, I said, you need to go home. You need to have your mom and dad pick you up because I can't have you all up in his head when he's getting ready to go racing. You've probably already done more damage than we could even, fix, but you need to go. You need to go. So she goes, if I go, he goes. So this is like the defining moment. We're right. It's almost like a movie. It's almost like a movie. And I look at him and I said, is that true? If I make her leave, you're going with her? And he goes, yep.
What?
I said, okay, bud. So then I took the Moffett, which is this big forklift that we use, and I parked it behind the car so that they couldn't get the race car out. I said, nobody's racing tonight. You go ahead, Tyler. Be with her tonight at her house. I can see what you're. So then, hold on. So then he's still living with me. It's kind of uncomfortable.
But now you got to go deal with the sponsor dude. What did you have to say to him?
He's just like, I talked to Keith, and Keith's like, listen.
I mean,
here's exactly what Keith Kuntz says. I have guys like Kyle Larson and, Chase Briscoe. I have those kind of guys that are trying to rent my cars for the Chili Bowl. I don't need this type of nonsense and drama from a girlfriend at the Chili Bowl. So you're going to have to understand that I can't participate in this. And I was like, hey, I don't blame you. I just got kicked to the curb too. So he left with her. I saw him the next day or 2 days later. Remember, Lummy, he was still worked here.
Yeah, he sure did.
And we had an event called the White, Triz wedding. Remember?
Yes, I remember that.
Right, and it was Angie, who's the grandma,
2 years ago?
who's like 50. Angie's like 55. Yeah. They're straight white Triz from Columbus, Indiana. And remember, the daughter had two kids. Haley had 2 kids on her own.
Yep.
She might have been pregnant with the third. And she was marrying a guy named Cash Money, somebody.
From a Russian mob.
From a Russian mob from Texas. And, yeah, they were getting married. And we made the White Trizash wedding. So Haley was going to bring her, I think, 9-year-old and 5-year-old?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that?
The grandma was going to watch her.
The grandma was going to watch the 2 grandkids who are ages like 9 and 7, 9 and 5, something, 11 and 10, something like that.
Yeah.
Kids. So Tyler comes to my bedroom right before I'm getting ready to go to bed because we make the announcement that we're going to do this stunt, if you will, and says, hey, Aislinn doesn't want me being there because he was going to run one of the cameras. Tyler, he was going to, Lummy, he was going to run one of the cameras, and he's like, listen, can I take tomorrow off? And I go, for what? Aislinn doesn't want me around all those girls. I go, do you realize that here are the girls that we're talking about. One of them, Haley, is 30. She's pregnant with 2 kids and getting ready to get married. 2, Grandma Angie is 49, and
you're not her type.
And you're not her type. She likes African Americans.
Yeah.
She was on the Jerry Springer show for dating an African American and a white guy at the same time. Wow. Yeah, for real.
I wish that was here during
Then
that.
the other 2 girls, I'm sorry, then the other 2 girls are 2 kids. One's 9 and one's 5. So, no, you can't take tomorrow off, and your girlfriend is absolutely impossible that is she that are you guys that insecure? Are you that unhealthy that she thinks that a 30-year-old that's getting ready to get married to a Russian mobster dude with 2 kids and a grandma, that's going to be some type of thing that's going to make you stray? Are you kidding me? No.
He was supposed to run the camera, and he wasn't allowed to leave the engineering room.
Yeah. So then, just a short time thereafter, I get a note that dear Dad, I'm moving out, and and that's the last I've ever heard of it.
Do you think they're living with her parents?
No, I know they are.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't know how they're making money.
They're living with her parents.
Yeah.
And you know what? For her parents, listen to this. What if I was doing this? Put yourself in my situation.
With their daughter?
What if I had taken your daughter from you for 2 years and was telling your daughter how horrible you two were? And you couldn't do anything about it. And here's the bad thing about it, Jay, before I go to words, is that Brenda, Aislenn's mom, got on the phone with Erica as this night that I just described is unfolding. She gets on the phone with Erica, and she tells Erica, if I have to come down there and pick these two kids up, and this is what's freaky, is that she nailed it. She goes, I will see to it that Tyler and Bubba never speak again.
That's diabolical.
And she was right. She's right. Brenda, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I upset you. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm wrong. Can you please, I'll do anything. Even saying I'm sorry to you, even though I haven't done anything to you. Can you please have some type of instrumental power over my son, as it seems to be you run the whole deal here, so that I could have a relationship with my son? Can you find that in the kindness of your heart to realize what you're doing to me?
They're overstepping big time.
And, providing, he's living with you. I'm sure that, I got to think a lot of this is probably your guys' idea. He's being really, really, really unhealthily influenced. And as a, 50-some-year-old woman that's worked at Honeywell for 30-plus years, you're a very smart person. You're obviously, a very successful person. Can you find it in the kindness of your heart to stop this? Because I've tried to stop it, and I've tried to apologize. Maybe the part is I haven't apologized to you. So you know what? I'm sorry. Even if I have to be a bitch and say I'm sorry to all parties involved, even though I didn't do anything wrong, but I'll take blame. I'm sorry.
Bubba, don't you think as a parent, she should know that one day Tyler's going to regret this, and you're not going to be around, so probably it's best to take care of things while everybody's here?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're that smart, wouldn't that cross your mind?
She let Jeff's funeral go by without him reaching out to his grandmother, who had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, and
so I think she's smart enough to know what she's capable of doing. And like Bubba said, there comes a point, and I've had these moments in my family where there's just everyone has said things, and probably everyone was a little bit right, and you just all say you're sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. So look, you said it.
Publicly.
How about I'm sorry, and I'd like to know how my son is today. Could you please let me know?
Yeah. Like, I'm not even saying like I'm sorry and being a smart. Like, I genuinely I'm sorry for my part of all this mess.
Not the way that you wanted this to go.
Will you please, as you threatened Erica and predicted and got it done, that from the point that when you threatened us that we would never see Tyler again, you were right. I never thought in a million years you could pull off what you did.
Is rescuing him in play?
Good luck. You're the man, Bubba.
I'm all about Bubba the Love Sponge.
Non-stop. Just love you, Bubba. Keep it going.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Hey, we'll be right back.
You two and him in there?
And then he'll end up kicking our ass and end up taking the smart car
We'll throw him in the back.
around town.
Oh, God.
What's that? You want to use it?
Yeah, man.
You gonna piss on it?
Yeah.
Bubba, is that a still photo or is there a video
Yeah,
of that
man.
wreck?
There is a video, but I don't have access to it.
So that's the only still shot you have?
Yeah.
Because it looks like that thing is still gonna roll more. Is that the final? I couldn't tell if that was final resting or if it looked like it was still in motion.
Let me see if I can get you.
Yeah, if you can send it to me, I'd love to look at it.
Which sucks is that I'm having to fucking get this third hand, second hand from people that he hasn't blocked.
Well, you know, like Jeff's dad. There comes moments in life that supersede any petty bullshit people are having with each other. Going to Travis Scott next week was trying to take a train.
Oh, yeah?
3 of his buddies. Yeah.
Where is it at Amos?
In Orlando.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that where the Stampede happened?
Yeah, he's like, I want floor tickets, and I said, no, we're gonna be on the
Let's
side.
not do
buddy.
Astro World style.
And then he's like, do you have to go with me? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, you don't think you're gonna stand out? And I said, I assure you that you're gonna stand out more than I do. I'll be in my little black jacket with my little black hat. And
Oh, I
I'll
thought
be
you were
good.
saying because my skin's darker than yours.
No, well, that's a given. That's a given. It's just he and his 2 little buddies are gonna stand out like.
Are they really that little? I feel like they're.
No, they're all.
Yeah, it's like his little friends. I'm like, they're probably not little.
I'm actually excited. His music's not bad.
Yeah, it's on. It's a
He's going to see
weekend.
Drake this week, or Drake.
Don't tell me that!
He's seeing Drake and
J.
Travis
Cole.
Scott all within the same week, which is pretty cool.
Is he going to the Friday show or the Sunday?
The Friday one. His buddy's dad has a box, so I get to give them tickets versus a box. That's all I can do.
Still, that's so freaking cool.
Yeah. I looked at him versus Taylor Swift tickets. The tickets I paid for, which are really good tickets, was like $170, which is I don't think is cheap. Taylor Swift is $1,600 for the sky, and because my daughter wants to go to New Orleans in like a year. And so
In a year?
In a year, it's $1,500 and more for a ticket. It's like our skybox would be $3,000 or $4,000 a ticket, and we paid I think $325 a ticket with the face value for the skybox. I think it was like $325 for the box.
Oh
And so Cam was like, well, now you gotta let me go with her. And I'm like, okay, but what's that mean?
Wait, so you went with her to the one that when she came?
I know, I paid for them to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think you went to that.
I just couldn't believe the difference. 10 times more expensive than a Travis Scott ticket is a Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she's next level.
I think it's like, if I'm not mistaken, Travis Scott, Drake, Taylor Swift are 3 of the 5 biggest downloads on, Spotify, or monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Like Drake, I think Drake's one of the top ones. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's in
for
every
sure.
song. You know, he does some little
Drake's a
cameo and
major
everything.
Superstar. I love him. Ariana Grande is probably up there.
She is pretty high up there.
Mhm.
She's a little annoying, but boy, she's talented.
Mm-hmm.
She's the triple threat. She used to be on
Disney?
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
She was on a kids program.
And she played this really goofy kid. You ever seen it with the high voices?
Mhm.
She was, she's funny.
Mhm.
She's really funny. Super talented.
Yeah, a lot of people get their start on like Disney. I think Selena Gomez did the same thing.
Yep.
It's like the template.
Are you doing anything for guests, really?
No, just staying the fuck away from it all. I did it twice, and I think I've seen everything I need to see.
Yep. I was invited to a party on the 10th. It's right at the end of, what is it that goes straight through Hyde Park? Is it Rome?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right at the end of Rome.
Oh,
The guy
nice. Where it intersects with
Yeah,
Bayshore?
right at the end of Bayshore. He has a
Mhm.
big tent with like 300 people. That's the guy that comes to our box all the time. And he invited me. Cam was going out of town. I was like, perfect excuse not to go.
You didn't take a shot out there, did you?
Otherwise, I would just ride my bike there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to drive.
Yeah, no.
That duck freaked me out.
By the way, I'm not going to Royal Rumble this weekend.
You're not?
My wife was looking at
Really?
tickets from a client at her job, and she emailed them yesterday, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, we weren't able to get them, but we'd love to make it up to you with some lightning tickets."
Yeah.
My daughter started crying.
See, the only want to go to the lightning. I want to watch the women's.
We don't want to go to the Warrior. Yeah, we don't.
Have you ever had a shoot
I
while
can get
you're
us to the Lightning. I can't get us into the Rumble.
But we've never had it.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've surrounded it every
Okay, that's good.
That comes at Wall
So
Street.
Nick the Gun Guy's seat's really gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring back some bad memories.
Yeah.
See
Are
it.
you getting it?
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
True.
So when you see Nick, you.
I'll see Nick.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
on
Well,
board.
now I'll be able to see Nick. Yeah. At least there's that.
Get to a safe place. Safe place.
The prison work release program gone horribly wrong.
You may want to duck.
This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Bubba the Love Sponge. Bubba the Love Sponge.
Lummy, I think you guys may have done we produced the commercial yesterday, and that was for Decision Tactical over in Sanford.
Yes.
Now, they have this place called Decision Tactical, which sounds too good to be true. It's 43,000 square feet, and it's the most state-of-the-art type of facility like this in its country. And what it does is it gives you real-life scenario training for like what SWAT teams and tactical teams have to. They actually use Decision Tactical's place as a training facility, and you too can take those same courses that law enforcement and SWAT take. They give you a gun and like these real life scenarios, and your gun, it's a real gun, it just doesn't have any bullets in it, or it's got blanks or something like that, and it puts you through different scenarios to become more trained and tactical. They also have a full bar and full food and full TV, so it's kind of a cool vibe on the deal. It's out of Sanford. Go to decisiontactical.com and give it a look. It's pretty cool. I think that's Ty J on hold.
Oh, okay.
I told Ty J it's a Freaky Phone Friday, and then Charles pissed us off, so we put the phone lines on hold. And then Ty J just texted me and said, "Hey, brother, I'm trying to call in to promote my event, and the lines are jammed." And I'm like, "Oh, let me unjam them real fast for you because you're Ty J Armstrong." And so, Ty J, how you doing?
Mama, it's not Ty J.
Who's this?
It's South Tampa. Hey, I
Ty
got
J.
an idea.
Okay, Ty J needs to call in because he was supposed to call in to promote his deal. But go ahead.
You want me to call him on the one line?
If you want to, yes.
The no-brainer is to honeypot Tyler and to get them to break up. No further questions.
Lock those lines back up.
No, we got to get a hold of Ty J. Or I guess you're trying to call Ty J on the other ones, right?
Yeah, he is.
I wonder if Ty J heard from who was it? Charles Haley? Who did he say was?
Yeah, Charles Haley had the baby arm.
What if you heard from Charles Haley after that clip was on the internet the other day?
Yeah, bigger than a baby's arm.
Yeah, I mean, for Ty J to say that, I mean,
Wow. Ty J didn't put anything over.
I mean, he really put it over.
It was like to the point where he was going to get kicked out of the league for hitting.
Ty J's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, you're like, "Listen, you texted me, bitch. You texted me about promoting your event."
He sounded like he was going to fight me. I'm like, Ty J, it's Lummy.
Hey, back it down a notch there, big boy. We're just trying to promote your event. Why are you getting all stuffy with us?
Lummy's such an embellisher.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm like, Ty J, it's Lummy.
I called the number 50, ended in 1540. That's what I call it.
Well, anyway, listen, regardless, we know that Charles Haley has a large penis that you were scared of, that you're ready to get kicked out of the league and hit him upside the head with a helmet had he brought that black baby arm your way. And then now you have an event tonight, chromes and canyons and chromes and the whole 9 yards. It's
real dancing.
It's the brass mug, and we wanted to give one last shout out for a promotion because you are totally our friend, totally Bubba Army. And
yeah, and I had Bubba Army contact me. I'm not gonna blow the spot up, but they was like, yeah, I was listening for the address, and hey, he's more skinnier than I am right now.
Man, he's like
He's as skinny as I am.
He's like a body. He's like he would be like a slot back or something right now.
That's what happens when you go on Survivor.
When I first saw him over at Ian's place, when we first started, getting slim, he was ripped. I'm like, I knew you was on the juice. I knew it.
Yeah, I knew you weren't laying 287 natural, bitch. I know
No
it.
way. And you carry around a whole nother person and a half.
And back then, man,
Anyway.
as a defensive lineman, you gotta be close to 3, or you're gonna get thrown around, aren't you?
For sure, man, and especially down in the trenches, you got to deal with 2 guys. So you got to deal with, if you're a nose tackle per se or 3 technique, you have to deal with the center and the guard.
Yeah,
right?
and if
the fullback.
And if they're not chipping you and they let you through, then you got the fullback that's you got Mike Allstott up your ass real fast.
And if you can't handle it, now you're laying on top of Hardy Nickerson, and that's not good.
Yeah, and Hardy Nickerson just cleated your back right over. He just went right over the top of you.
Right, if you're getting pushed that far back, the defense is very soft, is what I'm getting.
I mean, and in today's world,
it all starts up front.
And in today's world, man, you got centers that are 305. You got guards that are 315, 320, and you got some tackles. You got 6'7", 340 tackles nowadays. That's the size of the league.
These guys are basketball players, small basketball players, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you were probably on the bigger side of tight ends back in the day, weren't you?
At that time, correct.
Right.
Yeah, I was considered fat at 260. I was just not the league hasn't caught up to that size yet. Now guys are that size. But
the 1984 Redskins, they called their offensive line the Hogs because their average weight was 300. Now, how many teams do you think average weight the offentive line is over 300? Probably 28.
300. You won't even make the team.
Yeah,
right.
Here's the deal.
That was the average. They were the first team ever.
I'll tell you right now, if you look at IMG, the premier high school program in America, I guarantee you their starting offensive line is probably averages 300 pounds, and that's high school.
Right.
So you got guys in high school like that. Yeah.
I saw this one thing on TikTok a couple days ago, and he was supposed to be like a top 5 tackle for the league or something like that, and he was like 6'7". I don't know if he was from Ohio State or Michigan or Iowa or whatever, but he was like 6'7", 340. What? And listen to this, Ty J, ran a 4.97 40. At 6'7", at 6'7", 340, sub 5, 40.
But you know what, man? Sometimes you can be that big and have all those muscles and still be soft.
Oh yeah, soft as hell.
Huge.
Oh yeah,
right in their face.
Hold on, Ty J. You guys didn't hear the fleeting moment. He said, "I'll punch him right in their face."
I can tell he wasn't impressed at all. I like that.
Hey, listen to this. Whenever you go to training camp, you're sizing up your
For
competition.
sure.
You're looking at who's at your position, and now you're looking at who we're competing against. Who's the linebackers? Who's the strong linebacker? Who's the weak? Who's the middle? Who is the number 1 guy in those positions? You know what I mean? Who's the strong safety?
Well, Tony Mandarich.
You know what I mean? You're always eyeing guys up. When you even meet a guy just on the street, you're eyeing them up.
Yeah.
Right? You look at him. You do it all the time.
Just regular guys do that.
You're just in a guy's nature. So when you're talking about football, it's times 10.
In life, we're always measuring people up. When you're on the football field and you got to go in drills and you got to, you're counting. Okay, that guy's 3 back. I'm 3 back. Okay, I got that guy. All right, hold on. He's a soft. I've seen him in the locker room. He's soft. I'm gonna absolutely eat. I'm gonna eat his lunch. I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
you can also tell by the number too. Remember I told you about camp meet. When you see a linebacker at camp and he has number 66. Come on, man. You know that guy's not going to be there. He may make the team. Yeah. He may even be a contributor. But that guy's camp meet. So he's
camp meet. I love it. That guy's.
I never heard that.
Hey, camp meet, crash dummies, crash test dummies, whatever you want to call them.
But hold on, if you're going,
hey, and listen to this. I was jobbed out like that when I went to St. Louis. I went there as a free agent, And they gave me number 49, and I was crushed. I'm like,
49?
They don't respect me.
You're like, hold on, bitch. I've been in the league 6 years, and I'm camp meat. What the hell, bitch? I'm kicking somebody's ass right now.
Hey, I made a team. I wasn't the starter. I was second team, but I was number 89 after that. I knew I was like 49. Get out of here. No,
Equipment manager can't. Did you go punch the equipment manager in the mouth for giving you 49?
No, not at all, man. Hard work, the cream rises to the top. Hard work pays off, man. And so, if you're tough enough and you work your ass off, you can make it.
Yeah, he beat the guy's ass with 89. That's what he did.
When we talked yesterday, we mentioned Hardy a little bit, and so did you ever count back? Did you ever count back 1, 2, 3? Oh God, I got the 56. Was he 55 or 56 or 54?
56.
15. And you're like, oh God, okay, it's me into 56. I gotta bring it. But he's a smash mouther too. It's gonna be a collision.
What was really funny is that I respect the heck out of Hardy. So you knew who you had to bring against and who you had to be soft with. And I know when I was a rookie, I had to, make a point. So I was full speed all the time. And guys always say, slow it down. What are you doing? Because you don't want to hurt your guys in practice. Right. You need them on Sunday. But, when you're going against Hardy, when you're going against Warren, guys like that, they're not going to go half speed. You're going to have to bring it. Now, it's only for 2 seconds. They're not going to try to hurt you. But that initial thump, don't come in there with your chin strap unstrapped.
Yeah, don't come in there. Don't come in there, mouthpiece of dangling chin strap, half dead.
Jaw jacket. Yeah, be ready to go. Be ready to go for sure. Then there's some guy just gonna brother-in-law, and y'all just make play the dance, right?
Right.
But that's so.
Now, I got to think that you weren't a playing the dance kind of guy ever. You've never. I mean, you just started recently in life, and just in life.
First year, you don't know that. The first year, you don't know that. After 2, 3, 4 years, when you get a little grizzled and kind of scarred, then you understand what they're talking about. But when you're first in it, you're happy, you're ready to go, you got fresh money.
Fresh money.
You're trying to impress, and so you don't understand that. Not until a couple of veterans come to you and say, "Hey, Rook, calm it down."
Hey, Rook, you're gonna make the team, and if you're hurting dudes, man, chill out a little bit. Jesus.
Exactly.
God dang.
Yeah. But at the same time, they know that they can count on you.
Right.
If you're always soft, then how can you prove who you really are?
Now, when
punch somebody in the face every now and then. Sometimes people have to be punched.
Sometimes people got to be punched. How many dudes did you ever punch?
No, never. I never punched anybody.
Yeah.
How many times did you have to get that mean ass Detroit thug look that I've seen a couple times and really
every game, every snap from little league to professional.
Bubba, don't you remember when
every single play?
He pancaked Reggie White. He pancaked him. Remember, Bubba?
Yeah, he got a good one on Reggie. Then Reggie blessed him and told him, "God bless you," and then killed him.
Backside plays. Listen, that's like a backside play where he took it off and he was kind of scampering around and then boop took him down. He was like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Yeah, Reggie, whatever." Blah, blah, blah. Right? He was like, "God bless you, son." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, man? 92? What are you crazy at all?"
And then the next play, he just slammed me into the tackle.
and you're like, oh my God, And then he didn't take.
Don't talk. Hey. And then the funny part about it, so he played all positions on the line, so he had to go against Ian right out there. Ian came to me and was like, "Hey man, so Ian got 2 years on me, and I respect Ian. He's my senior,
right?"
And Ian says, "Hey, Ruck," or I don't know what year we were in, but he's like, "Hey man, you need to shut up because I got to go against him.
Yeah,
I play like 25% of the plays. I play 100%.
Right.
Shut your mouth."
So you're over here flapping him up, and I'm getting, I'm the swim technique on my ass, bull rush Willie
all day.
And here's the thing about Reggie. You're right. When Reggie really wanted to make, Reggie had 2 gears, half to 3/4 where he's just going through the motions, and then you pissed him off, and there's literally nothing that any offensive tackle could do. None. Nobody in the league. Nobody.
No one in the league. No one in the history of the league could stop that. No one. No.
Remember the Super Bowl when they were playing the Patriots, Lummy, and there was like 3rd and 8 against Drew Bledsoe, and it was a real pivotal point of the game. It was like in 3rd or 4th down. They're like, and if the Packers stopped them, they won the game. Well, Reggie been kind of quiet all game. Next thing you know, boom, hip toss, swim technique, the hump, and he exposes the left tackle. What's that?
Several plays in a row he did that.
several
Plays in a row he did that to the same guy. Yeah.
And somebody said that like Reggie wasn't like overly visibly muscular. Like he was farm strong. Like like he didn't really lift a lot of weight.
You know, I don't really know him like that. We didn't work out together. But you know who was not impressively looking, but was a damn good player was Tim Harris. And no one knows about that guy, but you should know about him.
Oh, Tim Harris from the Packers. He had like 19 sacks one year.
Man, he bloodied my nose one time. He hit me in the jaw and my nose started bleeding.
Really? Tajay's like, man, my nose is bleeding, bitch. Nobody's ever got one on me like that.
Hey, and that's what you're talking about, that man strength. That's different than lifting weights and deadlifting and squats and things like that,
You should. I've had Tony Mandritz on a few times, and I talked to Tony about this privately, but Tony first, Tony holds out. He finally gets $4.4 million for 4 years to come in. This is 1980. What is it, 89? Lummy, the 89 draft.
89 draft. Yep.
So $1.1 million for a tag. That was a lot of money back in '89, wasn't it? Tage.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So he gets the money.
He was the first pick. He was the first pick in the league, right?
He was the second pick.
Second pick.
The Packers could have had Barry Sanders, and they got Tony Mandritz. Please. So anyway, Tony Mandritz finally comes into camp, and this is the infamous Tim Harris story. So at this point, Tim Harris is like Tajay said. Tim Harris a lot of people in the league didn't know about him, but he was really quick off the ball. He was explosive, and he was a handful. And so they're doing one-on-ones, and I guess Tim Harris absolutely smokes Mandritz. Now you can imagine a kid coming right out of college, you'd been in the league a few years, and you had tough time handling Tim Harris. And so here's Mandritz, supposed to be all that. He's already freaked out that he can't get back on the roids, Lummy, because the NFL has really strict testing compared to the NCAA. Yep. And I guess Tim just annihilates him in the first play. And I guess Tim stopped practice and asked Coach Lindy and Fonnie, "We're giving this bum $1 million a year." Really made a big deal about it and called him a bum in front of the entire league.
In front of our entire team. So that right there should either make you step it up or you bow down, and then other guys now start feasting on you. Right?
Yeah.
You can never let the coach do you like that. You can never let one of your teammates do that to you. I mean, disrespecting you like that would never happen. I mean, I wasn't the top guy, but that has never happened to me. Never.
Oh, what if somebody bitched you out in front of the...
But no, I've always proved my point. I wasn't the best, but I wasn't the worst. But I've never been disrespected like that.
Hold on.
Never.
You weren't the best, but you weren't the worst, but you were the meanest. Period.
I don't know about that, but you could count on me if you wanted to. If you needed me in a pinch, as far as football goes. Now, I know street fights. I'm not a street fighter.
Oh, bull crap. I've seen you at Shepherd's many a time. Hold on. Listen, bitch. You're a lying sack of crap, because I'm going to tell you right now, man, I saw the 99 get his mouth in trouble a few times, a couple bodybuilders at Shepherd's, and the Detroit homie had to roll up in there and defuse things real fast. I've seen that many a times, or I'll call you a liar right now, bitch. I'm telling you that right now. The 99's at Shepherd's trying to pick up all the white women. You can.
Was he on a boat or no?
Oh, no, he's on a boat, off a boat, on the shore, wherever. Tajay's with him.
We're on brand new jet skis. Get it right.
Yeah, I mean, but you guys are also dock. You also dock them and go up to the pool and everything. And the 99 straight up pisses off like 3 or 4 pretty big dudes. Pretty big dudes,
wrestlers,
and they're
wrestlers. We don't even know they were professional wrestlers or soon to be wrestlers.
These big jacked up dudes, and these 3 dudes. Warren couldn't have taken them all, but guess who? Tajay Armstrong walks in, and all of a sudden things they don't want to fight anymore. So that's why I think Warren might have had Tajay on payroll on the backside, to be honest with you.
Hey, Tajay, who's going to win this weekend?
Who's going to win?
I'd say it's going to be Baltimore versus San Fran.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. Although, did you see that graphic, Seth, where the entire country except California is pulling for Detroit?
Yeah.
And KC, too. There's like 2 states pulling for...
I mean, you're from Detroit. You got to be happy, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm so glad they didn't draft me. Yeah, they brought me in for a visit. You can go take several visits before you get drafted. And I went to see the Cowboys, Dallas, and Arizona Cardinals. And Arizona, that's where my agent was from. Bruce Allen, who used to be the general manager.
Yeah.
That was my first agent.
Oh, wow.
And, and so I lived out there with him for about 6 months before the draft. So partying hard out there. I was like, well, I don't want to come to Arizona. I know too many people out here, and this is not the situation I want to be in. And being from Detroit was the same thing. I'm from there. I know too many people there. I'm too close to my house. You know, I grew up in Inkster, Michigan, which is from Pontiac at the time. That's where the Silverdome was. I say it's like 45, 50 minutes. So that's another reason I did not want to be in that area. So Florida was probably the best thing for me to get me away from that situation.
Plus, the white women down here are the best. I'm just telling you. The white women down here are the best.
yeah, all that. But, to get me away from that area, man, a lot of guys that grew up in my area are either dead, in jail, or in prison, So thank God that I was fortunate.
Thank God that you were fortunate enough to be an athlete, because you probably were headed in that direction. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could have happened, but then too, man, I had a foundation. That was my mother. My father was there a little bit, but my mother, man, she was that rock. Like Deion says, you got to have a mother, a single parent. And
Deion says he only is interested in defensive linemen that come from broken families and love their mama. Because he says those are the true dogs that are going to get stuff done. He said those are the dogs that are got a chip on their shoulder.
That's why I never got in any trouble, because I was more afraid of my mom than the police. The police were arresting me, but I'm like, bro, do not take me home, do not take me to jail, because she's gonna beat me and you.
Yeah, me too.
I was terrified of my mother, terrified.
I still
am.
am.
Even to this day, man. But I loved her to death, and she loved me to death, man. And I think I don't think I would be where I'm at today if it wasn't for what she laid down for me.
She had Mama Armstrong had a strong pimp hand, didn't she?
Oh, for sure, man. I talk about it all the time. Yep.
Listen, Canyons and Chrome, we got to get going because I'm running late.
Man, it's this weekend. The gates open at 7. The festivities start at 8 and till, and it's going to be a good time. I want to shout out our sponsors. Give me 1 second.
Taja, we're long. We're kind of live radio is kind of real quick.
Give the man some time.
You got me squirreled.
He's a legend.
So, Lupit Pole, Helix Line, Pole Freak, 86 Drone, which is me, and then PoleCon and the IPIA, which is the International Pole Industry, and also our number one sponsor is Dr. Dan Diaco.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dr. Dan Diaco.
Dr. Dan Diaco.
All right, Ty.
Thank you for looking out, man. I really appreciate it. And we're going to have a good time. Bubba Army, come out and support. We're going to have plenty of video. I got some people, Bubba Army's going to come out, and we're going to have some fun. I'm sure there'll be plenty of pictures and videos, and thanks for the support, buddy.
All right, Ty. Appreciate you, buddy. You be careful today.
All right, you know what.
This has been a long time coming.
There goes another sad participant.
You people are monsters.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
So I'd rather talk
Yeah, Bubba, we need to hear this pep talk.
in Orlando.
It's always interesting.
Happy Australia Day.
Dude, Ty J's great, man. They could have talked for an hour. I mean, he's so.
Stories behind the scene, locker room stories are always amazing.
Oh yeah. He's such a great dude. He should have a podcast.
I was trying to find his. I was watching full game films.
Is he on YouTube?
Yeah, I couldn't find the Packers one, but I was watching this Lions one. And he caught it. It was really a fumble. And they caught it down.
Oh, no replay back in the day.
No. Well, no, they called. They said the ground caused a fumble, but it was pretty blatant.
Can you believe they used to just go based off the eye? Yeah. I mean, they still can't get calls right, and people didn't even seem like they were mad about it back then.
They weren't. Well, except for Bert Emanuel.
Yeah. Of course, Bert. Ty didn't seem like he gave a shit if the Lions won or lost this weekend.
Who?
Ty J.
No,
he just said a lot of his friends are dead.
He doesn't really watch much football.
He doesn't watch football?
Not really.
He's droning.
They just told him they don't watch football.
I mean, like on Sunday, like what do you Sunday?
There's other stuff to do.
Teddy Rhodes and Teddy Manager take
He kayaks and shit.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like 6:30 Sunday evening. Like, what's everybody doing? You know, you're home. What'd you just flick from your head? Skin, nail.
Yeah, I think it was.
Eye booger.
No, I think it was.
Mike Thurman.
Okay, that's cool.
1999 Super Chat.
It was like a little hanging.
I saw it. I could really see it.
Mike Thurman, 1999
Somebody sent me a
Super
DM
Chat.
about
Thank you,
how
Mike
great you
Thurman.
are.
How what?
Somebody sent me a DM about how great you are.
Oh really?
Yeah. Why do you sound sad?
Oh, because I know it's more just like I don't believe you.
No, they did.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna send you a screenshot last night.
Oh, thank you.
Oh shit, Scotty Landers DM'd me. Man, I'm so fucking behind. I'm sorry, everybody. Good lord. Who told me that? Where was it that they loved you?
Prove it.
I bullied Stein into a retweet yesterday.
You did?
Yeah.
But you got it done.
I did get it done.
That's all that
Well,
matters.
because I tweeted the thing and then Felix the cat tweeted something and then he retweeted that. I was like, what the fucking
Well,
fuck,
he
man?
retweeted Biden, so I actually talked to him on the phone.
Did you?
And he apologized.
Oh, he didn't need to apologize.
He said he was going to do he had a bunch of shit going on. He was getting ready for a show, and he totally missed the tweet.
Oh, dude, he doesn't have to know. It's all good.
Well, he called me to tell me that he called me to apologize.
What'd you tell him?
Huh?
What'd you tell him?
I said, man, Seth's fucking pissed off. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's got a lot of shit going on.
Did you tell him that fucking Seth was tropics like it was hot?
Seth like it's hot. He was gonna fly to Dallas and stick his fucking 13, up his ass.
Up his beauty hole.
Where is this fucking note? Maybe I had a dream that somebody sent me a note about Anna.
Oh wow, another fucking dream.
No, it can't be.
That's okay, dude.
No, maybe.
Thanks for getting my hopes up.
No.
Appreciate ya.
I'm gonna find it.
Bubba, I need this pep talk. I don't want a pep talk to turn into, like, operation. A tirade when I'm not here. Just fucking blowing up my text. You stupid bitch.
Oh, okay. Here it is. All right. Here you go, Anna. I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Just so you know, there are fans. They just don't feel comfortable coming out of the closet about it.
Well, I'm glad they reach out to you. Not me. What the fuck is that about?
Who cares? At least I tell you.
Reach out to him to get to you.
Yeah. I'm just not contactable. But it's okay. I appreciate it.
All right. I don't want to call him out by his name unless I think he might want to stay anonymous.
Alright, I won't. Oh, that's very nice. Did you accept, block, or report, or delete? Well, obviously you didn't delete.
Bubba. Somebody from the Army just tweeted Dennis Phillips and Dennis Phillips gets a pass because the word on the street is he's got the biggest hog in Tampa Bay.
I talked about that. I had a girl in the air that said she fucked him. He had a 9-inch cock.
No, I know, but he wrote back. He goes, I mean, where there's smoke.
I talked about that back in the old 98 Rock.
Oh, I know, but they're just saying he's confirming it right now.
I know.
That's why he has to wear his
suspenders.
Suspenders to hold his cock up.
Supposedly he's got a big old cock on him.
He beat me in the fantasy football finals this year. I was going for a 3-peat.
His big cock took you out.
He took me out. He had a good team, man. He had Kyron Williams, and he's a huge fucking Penn State guy. So he takes Saquon almost #1 every year.
The following broadcast is not for the mocha soy latte drinking, tree hugging, Birkenstock wearing crowd.
I'm not giving you a compliment.
If you tuned in by accident, get the out of here now before all the beer drinking, whiskey shooting hellraisers find out. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I earlier today had like a little pep talk for each and every person that I had written down. But I don't have that opportunity to do that now because we're too late, way late. All I can tell you now is the Anna Hummel Show, seen on all platforms, will be next. And I'll be out all next week. Anna, do your best. Work well with others. Okay?
Yes.
Tell me, we do have the
Stay the course and work well with others.
We do have the honor override if needed.
Yes, we do.
If somebody enacts an honor override, then all they need is a second.
And the override. And the override.
I don't know who Anna is, but...
Well, that's all we can find out, okay? AI did not pronounce the short A, they pronounced the long A.
The opposite. Yes.
Is that actually the opposite?
Yes, it's
Fantastic.
exactly the opposite.
I will be at Bubba Raceway Park Tuesday and Wednesday night on Flow Racing. On Flow Racing or on MAV TV. I think it's Flow. You have to go to flowracing.com. On flowracing.com, the Lucas Super Late Models will be live from my track, so you can watch it if they're. And I think Flow Racing also has a YouTube channel that goes live as well. So try to catch me over there, okay?
Awesome.
And I'll be back, Monday the 6th?
Yeah.
Is it Monday the 6th?
The 5th.
Monday the 5th? Hopefully you guys can hold it down. Seth, be on your best behavior, F-boy.
All right, you want me to come in every day?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, you heard him, people. Don't be mad at me. He said it.
Every day, all right?
Every day.
All right, we'll see you guys later. On us next.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian Lummox,
co-host Anna Hummel,
Co-host Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council.
Co-host J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Brett, the Filthy Ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember...
I repeat hello.